you've been doing an outstanding job. Keep up the good work. Bessie, you're a real good ape. I'm proud of you. Rusty, you've been doing a good job keeping the gophers and the moles out of the yard. Here's a nice little piece of fish for you. Duke, old-timer, I know that these chilly mornings gives us senior citizens some aching in the joints. So I stirred up a spoonful of my rheumatism medicine for you in your victuals. Here you are. Sorry, Duke. I should have fetched you a chaser. Elmer, I really don't know what good you do around here. But as raccoons go, you're a handsome fella. Here's a little treat for you, and eat it in good health. Oh, Jed.
Granny, you just proved something I've been suspecting for a long time.
What's that?
Ellie don't get her love animal just from my side of the family. You got a soft spot in your heart for him, too.
Well, I didn't want the pesky varmints to starve to death.
Well, it wasn't just the victuals. I heard you sweet-talking them.
Well, I didn't want them to be missing Ellie. So I did it because they wouldn't be howling and crying and raising a ruckus.
You done a good job. Old Duke has sure got a smile on his face.
About a new fella. She don't sleep much no more.
Love hastens the rosy dawn and bids of restless sleep be gone.
Miss Jane, you sure do have a way with words.
That was swift.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Excuse me, y'all. I want to say hi to my critters.
Well, Miss Jane, we is mighty happy to hear about your romance.
Yeah, come on inside and tell us all about him.
How can I describe him? He's tall, he's handsome, divine. Any girl would swoon to have him, and yet he's totally mine.
Jed, there just ain't no justice. Miss Jane has got herself a handsome fella. And there's your daughter, hugging an ape.
Monster from the Forbidden Vault isn't here yet.
Well, Bessie won't be no trouble, Miss Jane. She's so lonesome for me.
Well, if anybody can get away with bringing an ape to the bank, it's you. Actually, we could put glasses on her, seat her at a vice president's desk, and no one would ever notice.
You're that, Bessie? You're going to be a vice president.
Oh, don't make any rash promises, Ellie. There are some apes here who have seniority.
You sit right here and behave yourself while Miss Jane and me figure out where to put you. Miss Jane, Bessie's awfully good at dusting and washing windows and such.
Oh, well, don't worry about it, Ellie. The chief isn't due for half an hour. We'll have plenty of time to figure out. It sounds as though somebody's typing in my office.
Sure does. It's Bessie.
What a remarkable aptitude for typing.
No, you cannot have a raise. Now, don't ask me again. And don't think you can't be replaced just because you're a vice president.
Clampett, Itchwich, Putchit, Langson, won't you? Ellie's typing's improving.
Put Bessie in here quickly.
Well, good morning, girls.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale.
Good morning, Chief.
Miss Hathaway, you know that new Vice President, Bill Steele? He's asking for a raise again. What a jerk.
Chief, you could hardly call Mr. Steele new. He has been a vice president for 15 years, and he has never had a raise.
Would you think after 15 years a jerk would quit asking?
Don't go in there.
Why not?
Oh, well, because there's a maintenance man working on the plumbing in there.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Oh, there's the kind of maintenance man I like. No union problems, no portal pay, no... What was that?
Chief, it's just a chimpanzee.
What in the name of the Federal Reserve System is an ape doing in my bank? Where is he?
Please don't yell so loud, Mr. Drudge. You're scaring poor little Bessie half to death.
Ellie, dear, is he yours?
Yes, sir.
What a darling little pet.
Did the bad bank president frighten the cute itty-bitty ape?
Call her Bessie. She likes that.
Hers is the sweetest little Bessie would ever will. That's my baby. Oh.
Wasn't that darling? Did you see that, Miss Hathaway? Wasn't that darling?
Yes, I enjoyed it immensely.
We'll get rid of it.
Chief, she's an awfully good worker.
Worker?
Well, yes, she can wash windows, clean light fixtures, anything on pie. Oh, let her stay. She's no trouble, really.
All right, Ellie, take her into my office.
Oh, thank you. You hear that, Bessie? You can stay.
Let her sit at my desk. She can play with my wife's picture.
Chief, she might break it.
I know.
Good morning.
Robert.
Jane, my dear, you're as radiant this morning as a bird of paradise.
Oh, thank you, and no crested cardinal could surpass your magnificence. Oh, Chief, have you met...
Indeed, I have. How are you, my boy?
Late. Didn't we say 9 o'clock for Miss Clampetts' driving lesson?
Yes, so we did. Robert has kindly offered to teach Ellie to drive my car so she needn't be dependent upon me for transportation.
Marvelous, wonderful idea. Go get Ellie.
Right, Chief.
Well, how is your beloved uncle?
Which one?
Uncle Paul, J. Paul Getty, the billionaire.
Oh, that one.
Yes, how is he?
Rich.
You're a man of few words. I like that.
I plumb forgot about my driving lesson.
Naughty girl. This very important man is donating his valuable time to help you. You should be extremely grateful that a man of his exalted position would take the time and trouble.
Knock it off, will you?
Does he know how to turn a phrase? What a beautiful human being.
Well, run along, you two. Drive carefully.
Oh, hey, you might want to make some notes on Ellie's driving. Here's a handy pad for you.
These are deposit slips.
Oh, really? Oh, well, who knows? They might come in handy. Goodbye. Take all the time you want. Happy motoring. Wonderful fellow.
He certainly is.
He has what it takes to make any woman happy, the 3 L's.
3 L's.
Looks, luck, and loot. That's right, Bessie. Break that mean lady's picture.
Sort of thank you for my driving lessons, Mr. Robert. What was it you said you needed again?
A tranquilizer, please.
Would it help you to get rid of that green look?
I hope so.
I ain't just sure Miss Jane's got any of them there tranquilizers.
Oh, just a couple of aspirin and some water will be fine. I'll just sit here.
Oh, I'm afraid that sofa ain't too comfortable.
Oh, he'll be okay. Believe me, anything that isn't going 60 miles an hour through a 30-mile zone is comfortable. Hey, you know, Ellie, you've really got to learn the difference between the brake and the accelerator.
Well, I think I already know. The accelerator's what you push when you want to stop.
Oh, boy.
Here. These pills don't help you. You go see my granny. She's a doctor.
Your grandmother's an MD?
That's right, mountain doctor. My granny come from the hills of Tennessee, and the women folks been doctoring for hundreds of years.
Just the women?
Well, yes, sir. The men folks was always feuding and fighting, so the women had to do the doctoring.
I see.
Are you for the North or the South?
Oh, well, in the shrine game, I always bet on the South.
I'm talking about the war betwixt the states. Some northern folks call it the Civil War.
Oh, that one.
You know, the war the Yankees lost.
The Yankees lost?
Well, that's what Granny says. General Robert E. Lee and the boys from Tennessee done whipped old General Grant and marched to victory.
I should have known that. had a lousy history teacher.
Granny's a dandy cook, too, and awful nice. She's looking after my critters for me.
Critters?
You know, animals.
Oh, yeah.
You like chitlins?
Oh, I love chitlins, especially little baby chitlins. They're cute.
Chitlins ain't critters.
Oh. Oh, I also had a lousy zoology teacher.
Are you feeling well enough to drive me back to the bank?
Not quite yet. Tell me a little bit more about your family.
Well, Pa's real easygoing. You'd like him straight off.
I understand he's worth quite a bit of money.
Right around $100 million.
I like him straight off.
Now, Granny, she's kind of hard to get next to. Too bad you ain't from Tennessee.
Well, what part of Tennessee is she from?
Well, she was born and raised down around Limestone. That's Davy Crockett country. You like him?
Love him. Used to watch his show every week.
I'm talking about Davy Crockett, the pioneer.
Oh, sorry. I had a lousy pioneer teacher, too.
Granny thinks the sun rises and sets in old Davy.
I'm beginning to like him myself.
You feeling better?
Yeah.
Well, I'll drive you to the bank and have another lesson.
I'm not feeling that much better. Besides, didn't Mr. Drysdale say you could have the day off?
Come to think of it, he sure did. You reckon it's all right if I take a sunbath up on the roof?
Oh, I recommend it. And I'll come up and see you when I get back.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. Goodbye.
Bye. See you later.
Well, getting acquainted with Miss Hathaway's done you a world of good. You look almost like a gentleman.
Thanks, Mr. Finney.
How about the 3 months back rent? Did the money come from MGM?
MGM? Oh, my grandmother. No, not yet, but maybe today.
Look, Dick.
It's Robert now. Robert Audobon. But you can call me Bob. See you later.
Oh, hold it, Bob. Pay up, or I'm going to change the lock on that apartment.
Oh, look, Mr. Finney, I'm on my way right now to try out for a part. Now, if I give a good performance, I'll be in Clover, believe me.
What kind of a part?
Well, it's sort of a Davy Crockett type.
Well, you get the hair for it, but,
Well, I'm on my way right now to change into my Tennessee clothes.
I don't know that I should trust you.
Believe me, you can. Honestly, I mean, this is a great opportunity.
How about a little cash?
Oh, thanks. I could use 20.
Oh, I know I shouldn't do this. But you took my advice about Miss Hathaway, and I like that. You young fellows usually don't listen.
Well, I listen. I listen.
I'm breaking a long-standing rule and lending money to an actor.
I really appreciate this, Mr. Finney, and thanks for trusting me. And don't worry, you'll get this double sawbuck back.
Well, I'm not worried. When I get it back, you'll get this back.
You're all heart, Mr. Finney.
Oh, excuse me, Chief. Ellie Mae just called and asked if she could have the rest of the day off.
Yeah, the rest of the week off.
Seems Robert needed my car for an errand. Oh, no.
What do you mean, oh, no? You said he could wash windows.
But you have window washers?
They get money. He gets a banana.
Oh, he's certainly drawing a crowd in front of the bank.
Oh, good. Hey, come on in, everybody. 6% interest paid on all savings account left for 2 years or more.
What you got there, Granny?
Diddles.
I taught him for you. You ain't feeding the critters again so soon, are you?
No, Jed. That ain't for the critters.
Where'll I put it, Granny?
Just set it here by the driveway.
Who is it for?
I'd appreciate it if you didn't ask me that. You might want to do something about it.
Well, I might have Dad. Who is it for?
It's for Jethro.
Where is Jethro?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. He slips by at odd hours, scoops up the kettle and skedaddles back into hiding.
Why is he hiding?
He thinks that little girl from Louisiana is still here waiting to marry him.
Well, why don't you leave him a note and tell him she's gone?
All right, Jed, I'll do that. But I can still use a few more days of peace and quiet. I'll leave the note next Monday.
Granny,
Yeah?
make it Tuesday.
Who's that a-coming?
That's Miss Jane's car, but that ain't Miss Jane driving. Hair's too long.
Howdy.
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 Be this the Clampett place?
It be. Yeah, I'm Jed Clampett. This here's Granny.
Well, Crockett's the name. Robert A. Crockett.
Well, pleased to meet you.
Where you from?
Oh, my family hails from down around Limestone, Tennessee.
And your name is Crockett?
Yes, ma'am.
Is you by any chance kin to the one and only Davy?
I reckon I am.
Did you hear that, Jed?
I sure did. We was right honored.
How'd you hear about us?
Well, your lovely granddaughter told me about you. She said you're all from Tennessee, too.
Born and raised not a stone throw away from Davy's cabin.
Well, I reckon that you ought to have the family heirloom.
What's that?
Davy's cap.
You mean Davy himself wore this?
The day he followed Andy Jackson into battle.
Davy never followed nobody. He led.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just that, well, I don't like to brag on my kinfolk.
Well, you got every right to brag on somebody that likes a Davy Crockett. But how can you part with something as important as this?
Well, you see, sir, I'm not a Tennessean born and bred, and, well, I figured old Davy'd like Granny to have it.
Oh, bless you, my son. Bless you. How did Davy see the shoot straight wearing this?
Well, likely his head was a mite bigger.
Well, I'll be moseying along.
No. Now you're going to stay and have victuals with us.
Victuals?
Yeah, how'd you like Granny to stuff a possum for you?
Oh, not especially. I don't believe in overfeeding animals.
Back from lunch, Chief.
Come on in.
Righto. Oh, no!
What do you mean, oh no? It gives her a sense of pride to be active and useful. A busy chimp is a happy chimp. That's a very good job. Oh, why don't you sit down and have her brush your shoes?
No, thank you. I do not believe in exploiting underprivileged animals.
Oh, she enjoys it. Go ahead.
Well,
I'm going to put her down in front of the bank. I think it's a nice service for the customers.
I must admit she's very adept at it.
Are you kidding? She gives the best shine in town. Fast, too.
Well, thank you. You did an excellent job.
That'll be 35 cents.
You're charging for her work?
I've got an investment in this equipment. You think shoe polish is free?
Oh, Chief, now
Come
really.
on, 35 cents. Hand it over.
I don't have any change. All I have is $1.
We can arrange that. Give the lady her change.
What does she want now?
A tip, you cheapskate. No skimming. Now get down in front of the bank and rustle up some business. And no pawning of tips, because I'll be watching you right through the window.
Well, we is mighty pleased you could take victuals with us, Mr. Crockett.
Oh, please call me Bob. And the pleasure was all mine, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, Jed. Sorry you can't set a spell and chew the fat with us.
Oh, no thanks. I couldn't eat another bite.
Did you enjoy your meal?
Oh, sure did, ma'am. Them was right fine victuals.
Well, you can't hardly beat braised breast of buzzard.
Is that what I ate?
That was the main dish. You started off with dilled owl gizzards.
Really, I'm looking a mite pale. Maybe he needs a little doctoring.
I'll brew you up a pot of horsemen and dog-fennel tea.
No, thanks. I really have to be going.
Hey, looks like Miss Hathaway's car you're driving.
Oh, it is indeed. I borrowed it to give Ellie Mae some driving lessons.
Well, that was surpassing kind of you.
And brave.
Mr. Crockett, I want to thank you for giving me Davy's cap. You're a dandy fine fella.
He is, for a fact. You know he just give Ellie Mae a driving lesson?
No.
Yep.
She's a lovely girl, and, well, ma'am, now that I've met you, I can see where she gets her beauty.
Are you married?
Granny.
Well, I only asked him, Jed, to see if he could qualify for a little shot of white lightning.
It is a family rule that you can't sample Granny's brew unless she's married.
I'm single.
I'll go fetch my jug.
Granny, the man says he's single.
The jug is for me. I'm going to celebrate.
Granny, come back here.
Well, it was sure nice meeting you folks.
Well, I hope our paths will cross again sometime.
I'll drink to that.
Bye, y'all.
So long.
See you soon, son.
He's a fine boy.
Yeah. I think Ellie has caught herself a real keeper.
Granny, let's not count our fish until he's fried.
Speaking of fish, Jethro's been here. That whole kettle of catfish stew is gone.
Yep. Looks like he snuck in, snatched a snack, and snuck off.
Wonder where that boy is hiding.
Granny, ignorance is bliss. Let's keep it blissful for a while.
I'll drink to that.
Doggone if I ain't tempted to join you.
Oh, Miss Hathaway, congratulations.
On what?
The improvement in Dick Bremerkamp.
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry. Robert Audobon.
Oh.
You've been a marvelous influence on the boy.
Well, thank you. He's done a great deal for me, too.
You can thank me for bringing you two together.
I shall be eternally grateful. By the way, have you seen Robert?
Yes, he just went up on the roof with his camera.
Doubtless in search of the elusive summer tanager.
Could be.
I think I shall don my birdwatcher's uniform, scale the fire escape, and surprise the dear boy.
Stay in there, Miss Hathaway. I'm pulling for you.
Thank you for your good wishes.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
if you see him, ask him when he's going to come up with that double sawbuck.
Double sawbuck. I don't think I've heard of it. It must be an extremely rare bird.
I had a marvelous time with your family.
Did Granny feed you?
Oh, please, not while I'm enjoying myself. It's beautiful. Now, hold it. Hold it right there. You mind, fella? We'd like to be alone.
Robert, it is I, Jane Hathaway.
Oh, boy.
Have you spotted the elusive tanager?
Huh? Oh, yeah. He went that way.
Oh, wait for me! After we find the tanager, we'll seek the double sawbuck.
Be sure to watch the Beverly Hillbillies next week when Robert Audobon Getty Crockett almost elopes with Ellie Mae.
I can't marry you. You belong to Miss Jane.
You're kidding.
No, sir. Now, you take me back to the bank straight off, because Miss Jane's waiting for you.
Oh, boy. Hey, would you like to drive?
Well, is it all right?
Yeah. Maybe we won't make it.
Next week on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Vittles will be ready in a minute, Ellie. What you got there?
Nothing, thanks to Jethro. I just found out that old Gobblejaws ate this whole stalk of Bessie's bananas.
I hope he didn't leave any of the peels around for folks to slip on.
No, ma'am.
Good.
He ate them, too.
That's one nice thing about Jethro's eating. Very little waste.
Now, Bessie's sure upset. He's got that monkey biting all 4 sets of fingernails.
Well, he'll be out of her hair and bananas directly.
How come?
Your pa's setting Jethro up in business.
Oh, fooling. What kind of business?
I don't know yet. He and Jethro's out front right now, talking heart to stomach.
Sit down, I'll tell you what I want to talk about.
But you can't just wait till after Vittles. I'm starving. I ain't had nothing to eat since breakfast but a few bananas.
Wait, boy, this is important. Jethro, the time has come in life when you and I ought to sit down and discuss...
Uncle Jed, you ain't gonna lecture me about the birds and the bees, are you? I'm a sophisticated international playboy. I know all about that stuff.
Well, what I had in mind was...
Forget it, Uncle Jed. You can't tell me nothing about the facts of life.
Well, that's comforting.
Yeah, I'm what you call a swinger. For instance, You know how I used to think that babies come from under cabbage leaves?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, they don't.
They don't.
No. That's just a story they tell little kids. How they really get here is where the birds and the bees come in. You see, there's this great big bird called a stork. Don't stop me now. At your age, you ought to be hearing this. Anyways, this stork swoops down and picks the babies up by the diapers and then slides them off the end of their beaks down folks' chimneys.
They do.
But that's the bird's part. I ain't quite figured out where the bees fit in.
Metro, I sat down here wanting to talk about you going into the business world. Now, I ain't even sure you ought to be let out of the house.
Gee, couldn't we save this talk till after vittles? There's a smell of perfume in the air. Granny's cooking chicken fried fatback.
Oh, I know you're hungry, but it's time you was starting to find your way toward your life's goal.
Don't worry, Uncle Jed. I can smell my way to the kitchen.
Knowing how Jethro eats hot rolls, this don't seem to be enough for 4 of us.
Them is for you and me and your pa. Jethro's rolls is in the oven. Wow! I used to spend all morning making 3 dozen rolls for Jethro. Then he come up with the idea of only making 2. Bite-sized.
Wish I had a 6th grade education. And now he must be what you call an intellectual.
Just hope he makes a good businessman.
Well, he told me when you're as smart as he is, you're to the world to teach.
He don't know what he wants to be. One day it's a Supreme Court justice, the next day it's a soda jerk.
Well, he gets him notions from them comic books he's always a-reading.
Well, as of today, there ain't gonna be no more of that. He is through leading the life of a scholar.
My very own business, huh?
That's right. Just decide what you want to be.
Well, let's see. I've always had a bent for brain surgeon. Uncle Jed, couldn't we talk about this some other time when I ain't starving?
There ain't that much time in life, boy. Concentrate. Look inside yourself. What do you see?
Nothing. I'm as empty as last year's bird's nest.
Drew, you're choosing your life's work once and for all. Now, get food off your mind for a minute.
All right, Uncle Jed. I got food off my mind, and I done decided on my life's calling.
Good.
I'm gonna be a fry cook.
Fry cook?
Yeah, in my own restaurant. Oh, please, Uncle Jed. You gotta admit, ain't many folks know more about food than me.
Well, I grant you, there ain't many of them as et more of it.
I hope you two are through with your talk. 'Cause, Vittles is, ready! Well, these ways he ain't a finicky eater.
Be easier on that door if he was. Third set of hinges he's going through this week.
Just hope my pots and pans hold out till he starts to work.
Well, it'll be pretty soon now. He wants to open a restaurant.
You mean serve victuals for money?
Oh, you ought to do all right, as long as he can stay ahead of his biggest competitor.
What's that?
His stomach.
Speaking of that, we better hurry out to the kitchen whilst there's still some food left. Come on, Jim.
Sure was scrumptious, Granny. Good-sized portions for a change. But what are you all gonna eat?
You mean Ellie left you in there with all the victuals?
Yes, ma'am.
There goes your dinner, Jed. I suppose you cleaned off the whole table.
No, ma'am.
You mean you left something?
The dirty dishes. Dishwashing's your job, Granny. You ain't gonna catch me doing woman's work.
I'll catch you upside the head. Jed, don't waste another minute. Find that boy a restaurant.
I'm going to talk to Mr. Dry today, you.
And do me a favor. Start looking out around Kansas City.
Chief, please try to look on the bright side.
Where's the bright side of spending $200,000 of the bank's money?
It's Mr. Clampetts' money, and besides, Jethro might make a big name for himself at the restaurant.
Yes, as a customer. Talking about eating up the profits.
Not that bad.
What do you mean? There are only 2 places I know of that can cook enough for him. Granny's Kitchen and the mess hall at Fort Ord.
Hi, Miss Jane. Mr. Drydale. Thanks for coming by.
Granny!
Howdy, Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale. How you feeling?
Don't ask.
You're looking awful poorly. I'm gonna fetch you up a great big dollop of catfish liver oil.
No, Granny, absolutely not. May I just have a glass of water?
You betcha, right away. Back in a jiffy.
Mr. Clampett, you wanted to talk about buying a restaurant for Jethro?
Yeah, but if you ain't feeling good, I can handle it myself. We ain't planning to spend that much money.
Really?
Oh, shucks, no. 200,000 at the outside. Might have that much on me.
What? Where's Granny? Mr. Clampett, you shouldn't be carrying around that much money in your pocket.
Well, I tried putting it in my boot, but it made me walk lopsided.
Mr. Clampett, you stand to lose your entire investment buying a business for that big Jethro.
Well, I got it to lose. Besides, he's more or less got to be his own boss. I don't know anybody else that hire him.
I know of a slightly less expensive venture that Jethro would excel in.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, it's a profession that's crying out for new faces. He'd be self-employed, outdoors a lot, and wear a fancy uniform.
That sounds like something he'd like.
He'd be a wonderful organ grinder.
I don't know. He ain't never showed a whole heap of interest in the field.
Well, it's much cheaper than starting a restaurant, and you already have the monkey.
I hear that. Bessie ain't gonna work with Jethro less than he's on the leash, and she cranks the organ.
Forget it, Ellie. Granny ain't gonna want him hanging around street corners all day nohow.
Besides, he says he's gonna be a fry cook.
I know. Have him to come down.
Yes, sir, Pop.
I'm sorry I took so long. I couldn't find a glass.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That put the blood back in your cheeks. Forced a little into your eyeballs, too.
There's supposed to be water in here.
There is. Drop or two, but it's mostly rheumatism medicine. Well, you said I could keep a little around the house for medicinal purposes.
How much do you call a little?
No more than a gallon or two.
Miss Jane is looking for you. Now, you go find her and then get rid of all that rheumatism medicine.
Just her and me? Why, 2 gallons is enough for a whole barn dam.
Hey! Take a look at what Fry Cook does. The apron was my own idea.
Jethro, you really ought to try grinding a hurdy-gurdy.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Drysdale. When I get my restaurant, I was going to make every kind of unusual sandwich there is. A hurdy-gurdy, peanut butter and jelly.
The boy's got his heart set on cooking, sort of combining business and pleasure.
Well, I'll see what eating establishments are currently for sale.
I was going to make mine world famous. And next to my cooking, Granny's is going to taste like day-old sawdust.
Glad to see you got a hat big enough to take care of your swelled head.
I'm sorry, Uncle Jed. Kind of got carried away by my fancy uniform.
I couldn't find Granny anywhere. Oh, why, Jethro, you look as though you just stepped off a can of corned beef hash.
Shucks, Miss Jane, thank you. Like they say, clothes makes the fry cook.
Come on, Miss Hathaway. We're buying a restaurant for Jethro. Goodbye, Mr. Clampett.
Bye.
May I have a sip of your water?
Of course not. You're driving.
I'll take the glass. Oh, and I thought of a name for my restaurant. I'm going to call it the Happy Gizzard. Bye, Miss Jane. Mr. Drysdale. Uncle Jed, where's Granny and Ellie? I want to show them the new restaurant Mr. Drysdale got me.
I'll hurry him along. Where's the rest of your chef's outfit?
Got it in here. Didn't want to get it smudged.
Granny said she'd be right out. She had to bring something from the kitchen. Here she comes, Donna.
Granny, where are you going with all that stuff? Mr. Drysdale said my restaurant was fully equipped. Besides, even if it wasn't, he said it's right at Restaurant Row. I sure don't want to show up there with a bunch of beat-up old junk like that.
All right, let's go. But when you are in desperate need of a buzzard egg cooker, don't come crawling to me.
Granny, Mr. Drysdale said the restaurant already has everything they need. Besides, in a city the size of Beverly Hills, they almost got to have a budget egg cooker.
Everything. Everything but a cook.
That's me. I'm a first-class, full-fledged fry cook.
Cook. Ha! The one time you tried to fricassee a chicken, you left the feathers on it.
Yeah, Granny. As I recall, them feathers was the tastiest part of the meal.
That ain't gonna happen again, because I got me the biggest, fattest cookbook I could find.
Yeah, and I've been looking at you, big dog, and it's all wrote in French.
Of course it is, stupid. All the great cooks of the world is French.
That done it now. You've gone too far.
Yonder's Restaurant Row.
Look at them fancy places.
He's enough to make your eyes pop out.
Don't look now, but we've created quite a stir ourselves.
I know, Granny. I believe it's because seeing a happy family like us brings out the best in folks. Notice how they smile as we go by?
Some of them even laughed out loud. Heartwarming, ain't it? I'm sorry I clobbered you, Jethro. You're part of my family, and I love you. From now on, I'm going to protect you from pain and see that nothing hurts you.
Oh, come on, Granny. Will you knock off the mush?
I'll knock
Look there. Maybe that's your restaurant, Jethro.
Wow! I bet it is. Oh, that ain't it. My number's 1836.
Yonder might be it.
Oh, that ain't it neither.
There's a beauty.
Oh, that ain't it.
How about that one?
No, I'm gonna pull down this side street and turn around. Hey, will you take a look at that dump? I've seen better-looking chicken coops.
Boy.
That place wouldn't make decent-looking firewood.
Boy, that's your restaurant.
I bet it's plumb elegant inside.
They've seen it. They're coming back. Please tell Jethro you made a mistake, that you'll find him something better.
Are you kidding? How many restaurants in this town rent for $35 a month?
Howdy, Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale.
Come in. Oh, I know you're gonna love this place. I'm just nuts about it.
That explains it. A body would have to have a bend in the brain to buy this dump.
Hurt his feelings.
This place has got everything. Oh, electric light, running water, there's even a griddle. And look at this, it's all ready to go.
It is?
Yeah, there's almost half an inch of grease on it.
All right, Jethro, the rest is up to you. You've got a beautiful little spot here, loaded with atmosphere. Goodbye, Mr. Clampett, Granny. Oh, no need to thank me. It's been my pleasure. Bye-bye.
Don't say nothing to Jethro, but this place ain't worth no $200,000.
Beverly Hills property comes high, but it does seem for that kind of money, they ought to throw it in glass for the window.
Probably that newfangled air conditioning that folks out here's always bragging about.
Boy, Paul, this restaurant sure had a strange sounding name before. Look at this sign I found outside.
Cheer up, Miss Hathaway. The genius of high finance has done it again. You know that soft drink machine in the lounge? Well, I just returned the empties and netted myself a cool 96 cents.
96 cents means more to you than poor Jethro, stuck in that abandoned mine shaft you call a diner.
His cafe is right off Restaurant Row.
On a dead-end street. The Clampetts have been down there cleaning and fixing for their customers who will never come. It just breaks my heart. And it wouldn't yours too if you had one.
You don't have a heart, eh? Well, listen to this. I know how hard it is to get a new restaurant going. Well, I've offered transportation there and a bonus to every bank employee who eats lunch at the Happy Gizzard.
Oh, Chief, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. That's a wonderful gesture.
I know on the surface I seem a completely hard and practical man. But deep down, I'm just a sentimental old fool.
Miss Hathaway,
Yes, Miss Murray.
have you heard the latest bonus plan from old Lick Penny?
He's referring to him as Mr. Drysdale.
What about that bus he's got to take his employees over to some new diner at lunchtime?
I know. Free transportation.
Free? He's charging $2.50 a head.
What?
Wait till you hear the bonus he's offering. He's giving us 10 extra minutes for lunch.
Is that all?
I hope so. He's making up the time by taking away our morning coffee break. You say something to,
Right. Old Lickpenny.
By now, Jethro ought to have his restaurant all stocked up and open for business.
Yeah, it didn't take long cleaning it with all of us pitching in.
I bet your Granny's happy not having him here for meals no more. What's for supper, Granny?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I forgot how to fix for 3 people. I'm used to having Jethro here and cooking for 12.
Yeah, you get used to it again.
I don't even want to. There's no challenge.
What you mean, Granny?
Well, with Jethro here, every mealtime was a kind of a test for myself to see if I could cook enough to fill that bottomless pit of his. I never made it. But it was always something to shoot for. I miss him, Jed. I miss him setting up to the table and wolfing down his dinner in 30 seconds flat.
He was fast, all right. Fastest I ever seen.
I miss the sound of them big white teeth of his gnashing together, grinding up bones and gristle, anything. Didn't matter.
I liked it best when he had corn on the cob.
Ain't often you meet a fella who eats the cobs and all.
What I'd give to see his knife and fork clanking together again, the sparks flying in every direction.
He did bring excitement to mealtime.
Didn't matter how you cooked things, raw or burnt to a crisp. Was all the same to him.
I believe I can say about Jethro Bodine, he never met a meal he didn't like.
Let's go see him, Jed.
Yeah, Pa.
Well, he's got the truck, and it's pretty near 10 miles down to his restaurant.
A short walk is good for the circulation. Come on.
I wanted him to go it alone for a spell, but I'm beginning to miss him myself.
I'll just get a few things together in case he needs them.
Well, now, let's stay out of his way. He's probably got his hands full taking care of paying customers.
Gee whiz, where is everybody? 4 hours without a customer. What could I have done wrong? Got the location, a snappy name, new glass in the windows, plenty of victuals, hot griddle. How can they stay away? Hot dog, my first customer. Howdy, and welcome to the Happy Gizzard, also known as the Chitlin Club.
I'd like to use the telephone.
Have you a reservation?
Huh?
Oh, that's all right. I'm the owner. I think I can find you a stool. Now, right here, and get ready for some good eating.
Look, Duncan Hines, I just want to use your telephone.
Oh, okay, but first you got to order something.
I'm not hungry.
Wait till you see the menu. What do you say now?
Like a 6th grader did it.
Thank you. But the menus is only the beginning. I can cook anything, strange or exotic. The sky's the limit. How about a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich?
Okay, I'll have one of those.
Coming up. See, I got me a French cookbook. Wouldn't you just as soon have a hamburger?
Okay, a hamburger.
Gotcha. My griddle's all hot. What would you like on that, beautiful? I wouldn't laugh. There's a lot of danger in this line of work. That's the 3rd time I've done that today. My hand ought to be medium rare by now.
Hey, look, where's your phone?
Oh, hold on. I'll get your hamburger. Have a glass of water while you're waiting. I gotta find something small enough to plug up the pipe.
How about your brain?
I got it, a carrot. Oh, one burger coming up. Let's see, I need onion. Where are the onions? The onions. There the rascals are. I'll get them.
Hey, Genius, watch where you're stepping.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm as sure-footed as a mountain goat. Doggone, my best pair. My soul's done been fried to a crisp. Didn't do my foot a whole lot of good neither. You wait right there now. I'm gonna get them rascals. I'm missing 4 of my onions.
And all of your marbles. I'm getting out of here.
Oh, wait. You can make your phone call now, and I'll cook your hamburger for you when you're finished.
All right. Where is the phone?
Get on the truck.
Truck! I want to use your phone.
You can, but I gotta drive you up to my Uncle Jed's. I ain't got one here.
Oh! Forget it.
Oh, gone.
What's this glass doing on the floor?
My windows got broke, and so did my spirit. Streetcar conducting's looking good to me right now.
Now, take it easy. Everybody has to fall a time or two before they take the first step. I will grant you, you appear to have stumbled more than most.
I don't even feel like cooking for nobody now. I don't even feel like eating.
That is serious. It was a good thing we decided to have him by.
Hi, Granny, Ellie.
We were just in the neighborhood, and we decided to look in on you.
He walked all the way down here, wouldn't let us help her carry a thing.
What are you doing with all that stuff?
Well, you never know when you're going to find a little cooking to do. And I'd hate to be caught without my own tools.
You can relax, Jethro. She even brung along a buzzard egg cooker.
That's the stuff that'll crow them lazy youngsters out of bed. It's pert near daylight.
Hey, what's all the racket?
It's time to go to work, lazy bones.
But, Granny, it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Better late than never.
I'm a big city boy now. Nothing can get me out of this hour.
You want breakfast?
I'm ready, Granny.
For a city boy, you move pretty good. Your Uncle Jed's already at the table.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Ellie Mae! Oh, you're up.
Yes, ma'am. But I sure am sleepy.
You young'uns wouldn't have this trouble if you went to bed at a decent hour.
Well, I went to bed at 9 o'clock.
There you are. Now, take your rooster and put 'em out. Have some breakfast, and then we'll go down and get the Clampett Enterprises ready for business.
Granny, the bank building won't even be open. Folks in Beverly Hills don't get up this early. But
They don't, huh? You know who that is at the door?
Who?
Mr. Drysdale. He's riding into town with us.
At 5 o'clock in the morning?
He didn't stay up half the night like you did. He knows this is the best part of the day. It's the early bird that catches the worm. So, he's up, ready to go, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Mr. Drysdale.
Where am I? What happened? Granny, you called me. What's the trouble?
No trouble. We need you to open up the bank building so we can go to work.
It's 5 o'clock. The stars are out. The moon is shining.
It does make you feel good, don't it? Jed always says up at 5, you're sure to thrive. Wait till 6, you're in a fix. What kind of a day is it going to be?
Rotten.
I best go check the weather signs.
Well, doggy, Mr. Drysdale. Why, you're the first city fella I ever seen with gumption enough to get going before sunup.
Well, I always say up at 5, you're sure to thrive. Wait till 6, you're in a fix.
That's what I always say.
We're kindred spirits, Mr. Clampett.
You're wrong, Mr. Drysdale. It's going to be a fine day.
Good.
Have you had your breakfast?
Granny, you know he's had breakfast. Well, this man keeps country hours.
How about some coffee?
Well, fine. I'd love it.
You still got on your night clothes.
What? Oh! You see, I didn't want to turn on the lights and wake my wife.
I reckon you beat her up regular.
No, but it's a great idea. Oh, you mean get up ahead of her. Well, let's go have that coffee.
You go right ahead. We'll be right with you.
Oh, thank you.
Jed, guess who I seen dragging up the driveway just now?
Who?
Old Duke. He's been out all night again.
That old hound dog has got a lot of tomcat in him.
Shame on you, Duke. Carrying on like this at your age. It's gonna catch up with you.
Looks like it already had.
Well, I'll be switched.
My doggy Duke, you can't deny that, young'un. Ain't they look alike?
They sure are. But how do you reckon that old Duke found himself a girl bloodhound here in Beverly Hills?
Granny, that's when a boy bloodhound does his best tracking.
I wouldn't exactly call old Duke a boy.
Maybe not, but we can stop calling him old.
Jed, look, a-comin'. Duke fetched home his wife and the rest of the young'uns.
Well, I'm mighty glad to see it ain't a broken home.
Now, Duke, you make your family comfortable. We've got to get down to the bank building and get ready for business.
Yeah, I reckon Mr. Drysdale's raring to go.
Chief,
What?
It's only 8:30. What are you doing here at this hour?
This hour? I've been here since 5:30.
How come?
I had to open up so the Clampetts could go to work.
At 5:30?
Yes, from now on, they want to open up at 5.
You're wearing pajamas.
Oh. I was so sleepy I forgot to change. Oh, I've got a suit in here.
Please put it on immediately. If someone came in here, do you realize what they would think?
What would they think?
Well, they think that perhaps you hired me for reasons other than my secretarial ability.
As a matter of fact, I did. Yes, you were cheap. You were living there for a minute, weren't you?
Just for that, I hope the Clampetts stay on the 5th floor for a year and get you up at 5 every morning.
I'm getting rid of them today. I'm bringing in a hired gun.
Gee.
No. He's just a troubleshooter, but he's the best. Cunning, cruel, ruthless, unprincipled, conniving. Oh, a beautiful man. Oh, by the way, his name is Homer Bedloe.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bedloe.
How did you know my name?
You fit Mr. Drysdale's description perfectly. Sit down. You and Mr. Drysdale friends?
I don't have any friends. I hope Mr. Drysdale will find my work pleasing. I'd like to give up my job on the railroad and stay on here. A bank offers wonderful opportunities.
That's true.
You get to foreclose on mortgages, repossess cars and furniture. I'll bet it's a great kick to go and get a television set just when the kids are watching their favorite show.
May I ask what you're looking for?
Snipers. Booby traps.
Well, surely you don't suspect
Well,
that...
it's a force of habit. I didn't get to be this old and mean by being careless.
Bedloe?
Right. And you're Milburn Drysdale.
That's right.
I'd have known you anywhere. You're the spitting image of your father.
You knew Dad?
Worshipped your father. He was the meanest man I ever knew.
Oh, Dad would have loved hearing you say that.
Excuse me, Chief. Your father would have loved being called mean?
But you never met the old gentleman, did you?
No, he was gone when I started working here.
Well, I'll see if I can find a picture of him.
You know, my first job was working as an office boy for your father.
Really? Oh, I'm surprised he ever let you get away. You and Dad must have been two of a kind.
Well, of course, that was 50 years ago. I was a dumb kid, had no sense of values. I goofed, and he fired me.
What did you do?
He was flogging a debtor, and I went to her defense.
Her defense? He was striking a woman?
That was the wonderful thing about Mr. Drysdale's father. He never discriminated.
Here we are. I thought I had a picture of him around. That's my dad.
What a man. It was a privilege to have worked for him. You know, I was with him the day he foreclosed on the old soldier's home.
Really? Gee, I envy you.
He had a pile of canes and trusses and ear trumpets as high as that desk. Cleaned them out.
There were giants in those days. Now remember, if the Clampetts happen to see us together, I caught you snooping around the 5th floor here.
Right.
Now, this is Granny.
Oh, she's a dentist, huh?
Dentist, doctor, surgeon, barber, obstetrician, you name it, she does it.
Doesn't look like an educated woman.
Never went to school in her life. But she did all these things back in the hills, so she figures she can do them here. Now, this is Mr. Clampett, my largest depositor.
Looks like a nice fellow.
Yes, he is. Strange, too. Growing up, he had everything going for him. Poverty, ignorance, hunger. He could have been rotten to the core.
Turned out nice, huh?
Yes. Somewhere along the line, he went wrong.
Maybe he had a happy childhood.
That can warp a man.
Thank goodness I had your father to teach me the 3 R's. Rookin', robbin', and repossessing.
There's Mr. Clampett. You heard me, Bedlow. I said Jed Clampett is my friend, and you leave him alone. And stop bothering Granny and all the Clampetts. Now get out of this building before I flatten you.
Strike a man with glasses, you can go to jail.
I'd go to prison for Jed Clampett. I'd hang for Jed Clampett. I'd face a firing squad for Jed Clampett. For Jed Clampett is a prince among men. He is my friend.
Mr. Drysdale.
Stay out of this, fella. Oh, Mr. Clampett. Gee, I hope you didn't hear what I said.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm so ashamed I lost my temper. But I mean it, Bedlow. You get out of this building and stop bothering the Clampetts.
He ain't bothering us.
I headed him off. Now get out of here and don't come back.
You haven't seen the last of me, Drysdale. I've got City Hall on my side.
And the Clampetts have me on their side.
I want these people out of this building.
Over my dead body.
Where's that fella want us out of the building?
Oh, he's just one of those officious meddlers. He claims that Granny doesn't have a medical school diploma or even a license to practice medicine.
As a matter of fact, I don't believe she does.
You know, he even had the nerve to ask me if you belong to the Teeth Whittlers Union or the Harness Menders Guild.
Oh, I never knew there was such thing.
Well, just ignore him. He's nothing but a nitpicker, a busybody.
Well, and I best not put up Jethro's picture and sign.
Don't tell me he's going to be an agent again.
Oh, he ain't aiming that high. He's lowered his sights considerable. He's going to be just a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist?
Boy claims he looked up the spelling.
Also, fish clean.
Well, that was my idea. Jethro's uncommon good at it. And it seems to me the two just kind of goes together.
Psychiatry and fish cleaning?
Yeah, he says that psychiatry is just listening to the folks talk. And he can sure skin a catfish while he's doing that. I'd best leave it down.
No. Put it up. No one's going to push my friends around.
What?
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, I was just coming down to your office to get you. Let's go try on this upper plate that Jed whittled for you.
Granny, I'm awfully busy.
That's true, Granny. This man's been fighting our battles for us.
What battles?
There's some fella from City Hall here threatening to turn us out of the building.
How come?
Well, for one thing, he claims you don't have the proper medical education.
Me? That learned doctrine from John Hopkins?
You studied medicine at John Hopkins?
I can vouch for that. Granny rode a mule all the way to Timbo, Arkansas, just to study with John and Elvira Hopkins.
John and Elvira Hopkins.
Probably the greatest husband and wife yarb doctoring team in the history of medicine.
How long you study with them, Granny?
Oh, I took the full course. Then I done what they call postgraduate work. All in all, I was there pretty near 2 weeks.
Well, unfortunately, I'm afraid that won't impress the authorities here in California.
I'm in trouble, too, Granny, because I don't belong to something called the Teeth Whittlers Union or the Harness Menders Guild.
How about Jethro? Is there a psychiatrist union, too?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Couldn't we just let the boy clean fish?
No, that's where we're really in trouble. The International Brotherhood of Fish Cleaners. But don't you people worry. I've thrown myself between you and the enemy. I shall not pass.
Well, Mr. Drysdale, you can't buck the whole state of California single-handed.
Then I'll go down fighting. From the halls of Sacramento to the shores of old L.A. I will fight my Clampetts battles and protect them night and day.
My dog is Granny. I never realized Mr. Drysdale was such a scrapper.
He's got to have some Tennessee blood in him, Jim.
Look, Mr. Bedloe, I found another picture of Mr. Drysdale's father in the storage vault.
My hero.
He looks positively vicious.
Yeah, great guy.
Of your aquatic meddlers, I will shield them with my might. And if I should fall, there'll be a new star in heaven tonight.
I've got a great scheme to get rid of the Clampetts.
Don't you dare!
What? Well, that's what you hired me for. We're in this together.
Me? I won't betray a friend.
Good for you, Chief.
Oh, Dad, forgive me. I had a nice thought. I didn't mean it. Don't beat me, please.
Chief, your father can't beat you. He's dead and gone.
Oh, no, not Dad. If he couldn't take it with him, he didn't go.
Well, you're thinking straight now.
But why can't I be the man my dad was? He was perfect. Mean all the time.
Chief, I can't believe your father was such an ogre. They wouldn't have let him join the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks.
That's not an elk's tooth, it's a man's tooth.
What?
The fellow owed Dad money. He couldn't pay. With his bare hands, my father yanked it from his mouth, melted the gold out of it, and mounted the tooth on his chain.
Now that you've come to your senses, we can put my scheme into action.
Is it a scheme my dad would have liked?
I call it Operation Rotten.
Great. Now get up and win this one for the old jipper.
Hold on just a minute. You're in this, too. You've got a part to play.
I have?
Sure. I'm the bad guy, and you're the good guy. You got a white hat?
Well, I can get one.
Good. Now, my scheme is I'll go up to the Clampetts and give... Is she to be trusted?
No. He's honest, kind, and generous.
Please don't use that kind of language in front of your father.
Oh, yeah, well, tell me about it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, put Dad's picture up. It'll serve as an inspiration for me. A shrine.
How about some fresh flowers in front of it?
That's a good idea. See if you can get some deadly nightshade and hemlock.
Those were his favorites.
You're a dirty, rotten old man.
Mr. Cratchit.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Ellie?
Did Dr. Granny's poultice grow you some new hair?
Oh, well, I don't know yet. I haven't looked yet.
Well, let's go have her check.
Oh, I brought along a photograph of myself the way I looked without hair. I thought the doctor would like a before and after picture.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I see your psychiatrist does that.
What do you mean?
Well, isn't that a picture of a patient before treatment?
No, sir, that's the psychiatrist.
Well, I always say it takes one to know one.
Well, Mr. Cratchit, how's Granny's hair poultice working?
That's what I'm here to find out.
Well, come on over, sit down, and we'll have the unveiling.
Yes. Ma'am.
How long has the poultice been on?
Oh, a week, and I'm sure glad to get it off because everybody's been laughing at me.
Well, they ain't gonna laugh no more.
Is that hair?
It ain't more.
Becoming red.
Really? I had red hair when I was a boy. They used to call me Brick.
Take a look.
It's true. I'm young. I'm handsome.
You sure enough are.
It'll look much better when I pomade it and comb it.
No, I like it this way. Wild and untamed. It's the real me.
Here, behave yourself.
Mothers, hide your daughters. Blake Cratchit. It lives and is on the loose in Beverly Hills.
Really, honey? Run fetch Jethro. I think this fella needs psychiatry.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, Blondie. Let's go out tonight and live it up.
Jed, I think he left the polders on too long. It's drawn up some ideas along with his hair.
He can handle the hair all right, but I ain't so sure about the idea.
Ellie says this little fella needs a head shrinker.
Oh, don't shrink his head. His new hair won't fit him.
Come on, I'll cure you.
I don't want to be cured. Come over here, Blondie.
Now behave yourself.
Oh, watch it, fellas. I'm a redhead and I've got a terrible temper.
Now, give me a couple of minutes to terrorize them, and then you come to the rescue.
Right.
I wish Mr. Drysdale would send up the rest of his employees.
Well, don't worry, Granny. Quick as folks see how you poked his hair on Mr. Cratchit, they'll come in bunches.
Well, whilst we're waiting, sit down and I'll give you Marcel.
All right, everybody out.
What?
You heard me. Clear out and take all this junk with you.
Junk?
Now, say here, mister.
Don't you touch me. I've got a writ.
Well, no wonder you're feeling so mean. Come on, sit down and I'll lance it for you.
I'm talking about a legal writ ordering you to vacate these premises. And I'm going to serve it on you right now.
Hold it right there, Bedlow.
Drysdale.
You craven coward, threatening a couple of helpless women. Come out and fight like a man.
Don't cross me, Drysdale. I've got a legal writ right here. Mess with me, and I'll serve it on you.
Come ahead. I've got a writ stopping your writ. We'll see who serves who.
Are you calling me out, Drysdale?
I'm calling you out, Bedlow.
You fool! You haven't got a chance. You're a banker, and I'm a professional writ server.
Truth, honor, and justice will speed my hand, and my strength will be that of 10. For my heart is pure.
What's going on?
They's fixing to draw down on one another, Jed.
Yeah, they both got legal writs.
I serve you first. You're wiped out, Drysdale. You lose your bank, your home, everything.
I'll gladly pay that price to save my friends, the Clampetts.
No, I can't let you do this. Mr. Drysdale, if this fella wants us to get out of the building, we'll...
Any luck?
Sorry, Chief. I've covered that entire half of Central Park. Not a sign of the Clampetts.
I covered the other half. Same luck.
Should we give up?
Never. As tired as we are, every square foot of Manhattan must be covered with a fine-tooth comb.
Chief, your dogged determination inspires me.
Good. Now, call me if you find him. I'll be resting at the hotel.
Wait a minute. You expect me to conduct this enormous manhunt alone?
No, hire a detective agency. Whatever help you can afford.
I am down to my last few cents. You haven't even given me last week's salary.
I'm sorry, I just can't afford it.
Well, at least let me have a little mad money.
I can't spare it.
You don't really expect me...
What do you want?
Have you run into any muggers in the park?
No?
You have now. Hand over the purse, lady.
Well, you can see for yourself. I have no money.
Oh, don't believe her. Look, last week's salary, this week's salary, next week's salary, and here's a $10 bonus.
Nice haul. Nice haul.
Now you. Oh, I'm sorry, fellas. All I've got is this watch. Let's blow.
Oh, Chief, thanks a lot. I asked for some mad money. That was certainly it. I'm furious.
What are you crying about? I just lost a $400 watch.
I bet it was insured for $450.
500.
Reckon that's a general store?
Don't look like it.
It sure ain't a blacksmith shop. Fellow working in there had on a striped coat and a carnation.
This is a beauty shop.
Yeah, fella working in there ain't no blacksmith neither.
You reckon there's a blacksmith shop up in any of them tall buildings?
Don't hardly think so, Granny. You can't blacksmith without a forge, and I don't see smoke coming out any of them windows.
Sure, a lot of them signs saying no parking in towaway zone.
Yeah. What does that mean, Jethro?
That means if you park a zone there, it's gonna get towed away.
What's that building?
That's the United Nations.
Wonder what they sell there.
Must be flags.
That's where they sell world peace.
Too bad the world ain't buying more of it.
Come in.
What are you looking at?
Central Park. From this vantage point with these powerful binoculars, I can see every tree, rock, and bush.
Well, at last you've come up with an intelligent idea. Now, if you can locate...
Chief! I think I see them.
Where? Where?
Just to the right of the lake. Yes, it's them. They haven't left New York.
Oh, you're wonderful. There's a bonus in this for you. I just cashed a check.
Oh, this is so thrilling. There they are. They haven't left.
Oh, here's your reward. $100. Can you see all of them?
Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, here's another 100.
5, 6, 7.
7?
7 precious little white-breasted nuthatches.
Nuthatches?
Usually they fly south in September and early October, but they're still here. Oh, what a thrill.
Have you ever wished that you could fly, Miss Hathaway?
Well, I must confess that every time I see a bird in the wing, I am seized by the Peter Pan syndrome.
Well, I hope you can fly, because you are about to be seized by me and thrown off this balcony.
Jeez, you wouldn't!
No, of course not. I was kidding. Would I throw away $200?
You had me frightened for a moment.
Let's have the money. Now, we'll see if you can fly.
Well, Granny, we didn't find your blacksmith shop, but we sure found one humdinger of a general store.
Biggest I ever did see. What was the name of them fellas that run it, Jethro?
Well, let's see. There was 3 of them. Aber, somebody, and Fitch.
Handy big skillet, Granny.
Sure is. Now you run and get some firewood while I test out my new fishing pole in that lake yonder.
Yes, ma'am.
Jethro, roll up your sleeves, because you and me has got some trees to cut down so we can commence building our cabin.
Yes, sir.
And work up an appetite, because I'm going to bring back a mess of perch.
Oh, Granny, see, can you catch some of them New York fish that Honest John was telling about? Them what he called, gefilte fish?
Stays in that lake. I'll get 'em.
These gefiltes looks a lot like bass, don't they?
Yeah. Sure hope they taste like 'em.
Come on, boy. We gotta cut us some more logs.
Can't we have bills first?
I ain't cooked them yet, buzzard boy. Right in the corner where you are. Right in the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor you may lead across the bar. Right in the corner.
Good day to you.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Policeman.
Just what do you think you were doing here?
Well, I'm fixing to fry a mess of fish.
Mm-hmm. And what might this be?
Oh, that's our cabin. We're gonna live there.
Here in Central Park.
That's right.
Lady, are you daft?
No, I can hear fine.
Listen here to me. You've broken every law in the book. First of all, you can't fish in that lake. Secondly, you can't start a fire here, and you most certainly can't put a cabin up here.
Well, Honest John said we could.
Well, Honest John doesn't know beans about the law.
He does, too. He's a good friend to all of you New York policemen.
Is that so? Well, I never heard of the man. What's his last name?
We called him Honest John so much that it's kind of slipped my mind. Oh, Schaefer.
Oh, Schaefer, is it?
That's right.
And they call him Honest John, you say?
Yep.
Now I understand how he came by his name.
You don't know him?
Well, not personally, but I'm sure he's salt of the earth.
And he told us that we could do anything we wanted to in this park.
If Honest John O'Shafer said that, then it's gospel.
Well, that's what he told my son-in-law.
And what might his name be?
Jed.
His last name?
Oh, Clampett.
Oh, Clampett, you say?
That's right.
And where might he be from?
Bug Tussle.
Bug Tussle. Is that by any chance in the old country?
Taney County.
Taney County. I'm from Cork, mister.
That's just some more firewood.
Thank you, honey.
And this beautiful Colleen must be your daughter, no doubt.
Oh, she's my granddaughter.
What the saints preserve us? You don't look old enough to have a granddaughter.
That's what Honest John said.
A very observant man. And what's your name, child?
Ellie Mae.
Oh, Clampett?
Oh, sure.
Fine family. Well, look, I've got to be off, but I'll be back. Now, ladies, if there's anything you need, just call on Big Tim O'Sullivan here.
Thank you, Mr. Police.
Bye now, ladies.
Miss Hathaway, did you find your binoculars?
Yes, I found them.
Oh, I'm sorry I lost my temper and threw them out the window, but I'm sure they're not damaged. Those new shock-resistant materials are... Is that the binoculars?
It is?
Oh, well. Now, here's $1. Have them repaired.
You are 1 in a million, Chief.
Ah, what's money for? Now, look, we've got to find the Clampetts. I want you to get in a taxi. I'll pay for it, don't worry. You can owe me. I want you to scour Manhattan from one end to the other.
And just how much cab fare do you plan to allow me for this?
Well, how about 20, 10, 5? Say, it's a beautiful day. What's wrong with walking?
You expect me to walk the entire length and width of Manhattan?
No, break it up with a little jogging. It's great exercise.
I have a better idea. I am going bird watching.
Well, how will I find the Clampetts?
There's the window, there are the binoculars, and there's $1 to have them repaired. Lots of luck.
Benny, that sure was a scrumptious fish fry.
Hey, any of them capilties left?
Not a bone, nor a head, nor a fin. You chomped everything but the skillet.
Well, I was hungry.
You know, Jed, watching that boy eat is a hideous sight.
Well, of course, you can always look away. It's a noise you can't get away from.
Oh, should I come along and help chop logs for the cabin?
Oh, darling, Jethro and me'll handle that. You slip behind that bush over there and change into a pretty dress.
What for?
So you walk around the park and meet some fellas.
Now, you do as your pa says.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, Jed, speaking of Honest John, he sure is a favorite with the police.
Oh, I know that, Granny.
A great big burly policeman came by here today, wanting to raise a fuss. You should have heard him when I mentioned Honest John. Oh, Schaefer, he said. That man is the salt of the earth.
I never seen a man more popular with the law. I recollect when the police drove him here, in their own car.
Remember, we're giving you 24 hours. So long, pals. Call on me anytime.
Thanks for the lift.
Glad to see you, Mr. Clampett.
What did that policeman mean?
What did you hear?
Well, he said they was going to give you 24 hours.
Oh, that, yes. Well, you see, ordinarily, New York closes promptly at 9 p.m. Lights out. However, due to my influence, I have persuaded the police to leave the city open for 24 hours so that you may see it at night.
You're back.
Times Square, Broadway, 42nd Street, all the famous thoroughfares will be lit up just for you.
Oh, Jim, here he comes.
Honest, John?
No, the policeman. His name is O'Sullivan, and he comes from back in our country.
What the hell?
Yeah, a place called Cork.
Top of the day to you.
And the same to you, Policeman O'Sullivan.
Oh, no, please, call me Tim.
All right, Tim, if you call me Granny.
Granny it is, then. Listen, I was telling my wife how I met you, and she sent along a bag of cookies that'll remind you of the old country.
Well, ain't that nice? Land sakes! Look at that.
Takes you back, doesn't it, huh?
Yeah. Oh, shake hands with my son-in-law, Jed.
Clampett, is it?
That's right, officer.
Oh, no. Tim to you, Jed, me boy.
Thank you. Granny says you're from back in our country.
Faith than I am. God's country, I call it.
Me too. Granny says you're from Cork.
Right, she is. And you're from Taney County.
Born and raised there.
I could tell by the look of you, you came from the old sod.
Old and rocky. We had one devil of a time trying to farm there.
Farming people, were you?
We tried, but that land was so poor you couldn't raise a fuss on it.
Will you listen to the wit of the man, huh? Oh, Granny girl, you got the finest family a man could meet.
You ain't met Jethro yet.
Well, I can hardly wait.
All right, I'll go fetch him for you.
Poor land, you say?
It was for a fact.
Tell me, was there a peat bog near your place?
I don't recall peat, but there was a clem bog.
I'm not familiar with clem bog, but we used to cook with peat.
We used to fish with clem.
Good for bait, you say?
The best. You could always count on clem for a can of worms.
Well, Pete was never any good for that.
That's too bad. Clem was a worm-digging fool.
I think we might be talking about two different bogs.
That could be.
The peat I'm referring to is in the ground.
So's Clem. Would have been 96 next month.
Jethro, shake hands with Officer O'Sullivan.
Howdy, Jethro, me boy. Oh, will you look at that face? He's got the map of Ireland all over it.
I thought I told you to wash.
Gee whiz, Granny. All he's doing is chopping logs.
Do as I tell you.
Oh, boy. I'll be right with you. I'm sorry to rush off, Tim, but we got a lot of work to do.
Oh, I understand, Jed, me boy. And may you have the strength of 10.
Thank you. With Jethro, we got the appetite of 10.
Oh, what a grand family, Granny. Say, listen, I wonder if I could bring me sergeant by to see all of you a little bit later. He's a fine lad.
Sure. I'll bake him a possum.
Possum?
Just like back home.
Oh, we'd love a bit of old Aaron.
Well, I'll try and find old Aaron. But if I can't, a possum's a possum.
Yes. I'm a little late. Goodbye for now, Granny girl. As my mother used to say, may the wind be ever at your back. May you be a long time in heaven before the devil knows you're gone.
Bye-bye. What a nice man. I hate to tell him that his wife's cookies is spoilt and turned green.
Wait here for me, cabby.
Hold it, pal. You ain't disappearing into Central Park owing me $34.80.
Are you suggesting that I would sneak off, leaving you to hold the bag?
No, I'm suggesting that you don't.
How much you say it was?
$34.80, and that don't include a tip.
Who said I had to give you a tip?
I do.
See here, my good man. New York cab drivers have a reputation of being rather surly. Now, you have the opportunity of changing that image.
I'm going to change your image. How would you like your nose over here?
All right. $24.80.
$34.80.
All right, here we are. 10, 20, 30, 5. Now, you owe me 20 cents. Are you kidding? Now, figure it out for yourself. $35, subtract $34.80.
Look, sport, you had me driving all over the island of Manhattan looking for 4 creeps. I got 2 traffic tickets because you had me watching the sidewalk when I should have been watching the street. Now, are you going to give me a tip?
Very well. Invest in railroads.
Well, Miss Jane. Howdy, Miss Jane. Greetings, Mr. Clampett. Jethro. How marvelous to see you again.
Same to you. Is Mr. Drysdale with you?
Well, yes, but right now he's out searching for you in a taxi.
Heck, it hadn't ought to take long to search a taxi.
No, I meant... You're right, Jethro. But where's Granny?
She's out looking for possum. This policeman and his sergeant is coming by, and she wants to cook 'em up some old country food.
Old country?
Yeah, they're from Beverly Hills, just like us.
Aaron, old Aaron, are you in there?
Hey, lady.
Oh, hello, boys. Have you seen any possums?
No, but I think we spotted a pigeon. What do you got in the purse?
My valuables. I'll give you a nickel apiece if you help me catch a brace of possums.
Give us your money.
Not until you catch me a possum.
Shut up and give us your money.
Now, that ain't polite. Your friend could learn some manners.
Give us the purse or we'll throw you in the lake.
You could learn some manners, too.
That's enough chatter. Let's go.
Put me down, you hear me? You're making me mad!
Yo!
I warned you, you naughty little scamps.
Here you are. Well, howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
Glad to see you.
Sure enough are.
I'm glad I finally found you.
Excuse me, Chief, but I found them.
Well, I found you. Come here. Get over to the hotel and arrange for 6 tickets on the next plane to L.A. Fast.
But you haven't even asked for Clampett.
Charge! Up, face! Forward, Hutch! Up, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Well, Miss Hathaway has gone to arrange our passage back to Los Angeles.
You leaving us so soon?
We're all going. Aren't we?
Jethro and me ain't finished our cabin yet.
Mr. Clampett, you can't build a cabin here.
Honest John says we can.
Who's Honest John?
Well, Mr. Schaefer. He's the fellow sold Uncle Jed the park.
And a Statue of Liberty, and a Staten Island Ferry, and a Brooklyn Bridge, and the Empire State Building.
Mr. Clampett, he's a confidence man.
That's the truth. I don't remember when I had more confidence in anybody.
He's the finest fellow you ever want to meet.
No. The man's a bunco artist.
What's a bunco artist?
Well, that's the fellow that paints buncos.
Well, I think it's...
Oh, yeah, I painted a few of them myself.
What are you whispering about?
Oh, Jethro was just explaining to me about Honest John being a painter and artist.
Oh, he's not a real artist?
Well, you don't have to be too good to slap a coat of paint on a bunco.
Mr. Drysdale, glad to see you.
Yeah, same here.
You know, Jeff, there ain't a possum, nor a raccoon, nor even a rabbit in this whole park.
Is that a fact?
A body can't cook back home food here. There ain't enough critters.
Oh, that's what I miss. My critters.
And they miss you, Ellie.
They do?
Yes, when I left, they were whining and crying. Their tears were rolling down their hairy little faces.
Oh, Pop, I gotta get home.
What do you think, Granny?
Well, I gotta admit that I miss my still.
Still?
A peace and quiet. I like it still.
Uh-huh. How about you, Jethro?
Oh, come to think about it, Uncle Jed. I can't wait to get on that airplane.
Homesick, huh?
Hungry. They serve good victuals.
Well, I reckon that does it. Let's all fan out behind them bushes there and change our traveling clothes and be on our way.
Yeah, let's hurry. What am I doing? I don't have to change. Oh, it was a grand family. Soul to the earth.
Wait, it looks like they got... What's this? Dear Tim, we couldn't find old Aaron in Central Park. I've gone back home, love, Granny.
Oh, Sergeant, I'm sorry. I guess they got a little homesick and they went back to Ireland.
Well, it is myself that's sorry. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting the likes of the Clampetts.
You missed a grand family, Patrick, my dude, a grand family.
I'm Timmy, can you say?
Yeah, are you familiar with it, Pat?
No, I'm not Timmy, boy. But if it's anywhere near Killarney, well, let me put it this way to you now. They're nearer to a little bit of heaven.
Tooraloo-la-lie. Tooraloo-la-loo-la. Hush now, don't cry.
Jed, honest John kept his promise. The whole city of New York is lit up.
Dog of a day.
Ooh-wee.
Ain't that pretty?
Must be a million lights on. If ever there was a man of his word, it's honest John Schaefer.
What are you people talking about?
Them lights down there. Honest John had the police leave them on just for us.
Him and the police are just like that.
Now listen to me. That man is wanted by the police.
That's a fact. He's crazy about it.
Glad to finally realize what a nice man he is.
Yes, he's an angel. I love him. He's the sweetest, kindest, darlingest, most adorable, precious doll of a man that ever lived.
He's fond of him, too, but let's not get sickening about it. Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Good morning, Mr. Clampett. Jethro?
Howdy, Miss Jane.
You're just in time for a doctor's examination.
Doctor's examination?
Twice a year, Granny gives everybody a good going over to see that there's nothing wrong with them.
I'm next, but you can take my turn if you like.
Oh, well, thank you, Jethro, but I just came by to have some paper signed.
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Greetings, Ellie.
Nick! Oh, just take a seat, Miss Jane. I'll get to you as quick as I can. Come on, Jethro, get a move on.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to take my turn? What about you, Uncle Jed?
Don't keep the doctor waiting, boy.
This apple a day stuff is just talk.
Well, how did your examination go, Ellie?
Oh, just awful, Miss Jane.
Really?
Oh, Granny couldn't find nothing wrong with me. She got all upset.
You sure there's nothing hurting you?
Positive.
I got some dandy salve here.
I don't need it.
Guaranteed to take the soreness out.
Granny, I ain't got nothing that's sore.
Put that on and come back tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett. I think that should do it.
Next! That's you, Jed. Come on.
Well, maybe Miss Jane would like to take my turn.
Well, I'm afraid I have to hurry right back to the office.
All right, I'll squeeze you in ahead of Jed.
I meant I have to get back there immediately. You see, Mr. Drysdale isn't feeling well.
Mr. Drysdale is ailing? Fetch him over.
It's just a cold, Granny, and that's one thing you doctors haven't conquered yet.
What do you mean?
Well, there is no known cure for the common cold.
You mean to tell me the city doctors ain't got no cure for a cold?
Well, they can alleviate the symptoms, but no one has a cure.
Well, Granny has. She's been making it as long as I can remember.
A cold cure?
1 spoonful is all it takes.
But the greatest research scientists and doctors in the world have been working on this problem.
Well, tell them to stop it. I come up with a cold cure 45 years ago.
You did?
Well, I thought everybody knew. It was wrote up in the Razorback Hog Breeders Gazette.
Right on the front page.
Most doctors and scientists don't read that.
How can I get the word to them?
I'll take that up with Mr. Drysdale.
Well, tell him to cheer up. Granny's going to cure his cold.
Yes, I'll warn... tell him. Bye.
Bye.
He did? Oh, that's good. Bye. I'll have to start mopping up a batch of my cold cure, Jed. Mr. Drysdale's on his way over.
He is?
Yep. The girl said he's gone to see the doctor.
All right, Milburn, you can put your coat back on.
Are you through already?
That's right.
What's the verdict?
You have a cold.
I knew that when I came in. Now, what are you going to do for it?
I'm going to recommend that you eat sensibly, drink lots of fluids, get plenty of rest. Then, in a week or 10 days, you'll be all right.
But wait a minute. Aren't you going to give me a shot of something?
Well, if you insist. I imagine I have some brandy around somewhere.
I mean a shot for my cold, like penicillin.
Brandy will do you just as much good, and it won't hurt.
What kind of a doctor are you?
I am a busy one. Now, I'll see you later.
Roy?
Oh, come on, Milburn. I've told you before, there is no cure for the common cold.
Then why did you have me come over here?
I didn't. You barged into my waiting room without an appointment.
You certainly got me in here in a hurry.
Of course I did. The way you were coughing and sneezing, and on my other patients, you were a menace to public health.
What a Jake! You haven't done one thing that I couldn't have done myself.
Fine. Next time, save yourself the $10.
Rattlesnake weed. Secret ingredient X4. Corn squeezins. Ellie, that's the strongest batch I ever made.
It'll cure cold in a hurry, huh?
I mean my corn squeezins. Won't know about my cold cure till it works for a spell.
Look, Granny, it's working now. Taking a hole right through the blanket.
That ain't my cold cure. I forgot to put the cork back in my jug. Where are you, Mr. Drysdale? Mr. Drysdale? Jed, I can't find Mr. Drysdale. You got him upstairs in bed?
No, Granny. It turns out that the doctor he was going to see wasn't you, it was Dr. Clyburn.
Dr. Clyburn, he ain't got no cold cure. He can't even grow hair.
Take that.
That highfalutin society sawbones, he mean-mouthed me, called me a witch doctor. And after I growed a crop of hair on that gourd head of his.
Yeah, but it seems that after a spell, all that new hair fell out.
I just grow it. I ain't got time to garden it.
Where are you going?
I'm going down to that Clyburn's office, and I'm going to show him up. I'm going to give Mr. Drysdale my cold cure in front of everybody.
Now, Granny, you don't want to shame a man by out-doctoring him in his own office with his patients looking on. Why, it could cost him his livelihood, break his spirit in the bargain.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, Jed. Us older and wiser doctors should be helping the young'uns. There's a bond among physicians that's bigger than personal feelings.
That's a spirit.
It's a high calling, Jed. The art of healing.
Ain't none higher.
You know, we have to take a pledge to end suffering wherever we find it.
I know.
I'm proud to be a doctor.
And we're proud of you.
Kind of chokes you up, don't it?
Yes, for a fact.
Yeah.
Hot dog, you're out of the kitchen. Now I can eat.
Hold on, boy. You gotta drive me into town.
But Granny, I'm already 2 snacks behind schedule, and I'm starving.
Sorry, boy. This is doctor business.
And nothing comes ahead of ending suffering.
Good. I'm going in the kitchen and end mine.
You can hold out till mealtime, and I'll get on this truck.
Okay. What if I pass out at the wheel?
You have a doctor sitting right beside you.
Where y'all go?
Granny's going down to Dr. Clyburn's office.
She is? Hey, Ellie, come on along and watch the fun.
What fun?
Why, the way that rascal mean-mouthed Granny, she's going to turn him every way but loose.
Yeah, he called Granny a voodoo witch doctor.
Said the only medicine she knows is saying spells and sticking pins in dolls.
Then she ought to wear a bone through her hair.
And a shark's tooth necklace.
And told her shrunk head.
Watching Granny and old Dr. Clyburn tangle is going to be pretty near as much fun as eating.
Now, just a minute.
Hey, Granny, you want me to fetch your shotgun? Or are you going to take him on bare knuckles?
That's your shotgun, Ellie.
Well, that's enough. Granny decided to let bygones be bygones. She ain't going down to Dr. Clyburn's toting no shotgun, right, Granny?
That's right. I'm gonna take 'em on bare knuckles.
Here it is, Granny. Roy S. Clyburn, M.D.
Now, Granny, before you go in there, I want you to promise me again that
Now, Jed, stop worrying. Now, cool down. I'm here as one doctor helping another to share the fruits of my medical research.
Well, that's fine. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
There's a bond between all us physicians.
Yeah, I know.
It's a high calling.
True.
I'm proud to be one.
Hey, Uncle Jed, if there ain't gonna be no scrap, can Ellie and me go get something to eat?
Yeah, this ain't gonna be no fun.
It's going to be better than fun. It's going to be a lesson in folks forgetting their own feelings for the good of mankind. And I want you youngins to see it. Mr. Drysdale must be inside with the doctor.
I'll go take a look. You sit down. Hey, you in there, open up. Please, madam. You ought to wash this window. It's so dirty I can't hardly see through it.
What did you wish?
Mr. Drysdale in there?
No, he's gone.
Oh, well, then you tell Dr. Clyburn that I got something for him.
Did you have an appointment?
No, but he'll be glad to see me.
I'm afraid Dr. Clyburn is booked up for weeks.
Well, I ain't gonna sit here that long. Now, you tell him that Dr. Granny is here to give him a cold cure. Interested in stock, are you?
Yes.
Did you ever read the Razorback Hog Breeders Gazette?
No.
My cold cure was on the front page of it. You got a cold?
No.
What's bothering you?
Yes.
From the looks of you, I'd say your gizzard is acting up. Does it hurt you when I poke you?
Here she is, Doctor.
Hello, Roy. Say, I think this fella's got an ailing gizzard. Now, if you're busy, I'll take him in yonder and give him a good going over.
Nurse, show Mr. Parker into examination room B.
Yes, Doctor.
I didn't bring my bag, Roy. I'll have to borrow a few things from you.
You see, youngin? Granny and Dr. Clyburn is working together already. Let this be a lesson to you. If you're big enough to swallow your pride and offer your hand in friendship,
Put me down, you good-headed queen! I just got my minute
Out! All of you! Out! Hey, oh, no, not you.
Not forget, I won't give you my cold cure!
Excuse me, Dr. Clyburn, but I'm disappointed in you. Really? I am for a fact. Like I was just saying to the young'uns, I said, with Granny swallowing her pride and coming forward like she done in the spirit of goodwill and...
Uncle Jed.
What?
Is the friendship lesson over?
I kind of think it is.
Come on, let's go home and eat.
Jethro, where do you think you're going? There's no medical buildings on this street.
Please, Granny, let's go home and have some victuals. We've been to 6 medical buildings, and not one of them has had a vacancy.
Boy's right, Granny. You just might have to do your doctorate at home.
No! If I'm gonna show up that Clyburn, I gotta have me an office in town.
Hey, Frank, maybe Mr. Drysdale's got an empty office.
Good idea. Turn the truck around.
Clampetts are in my office.
Mr. Drysdale! Who's a better doctor, Clyburn or me?
You are, Granny.
Clyburn cure a cold?
No.
Can he make medicine better than me?
No.
Has he been doctoring longer than me?
No.
Then can I have an office here in your building?
No.
No.
She means no vacancy. Otherwise, we'd be proud to have you. Proud.
There's a sign downstairs that says the penthouse is for rent.
Can I have it?
No.
No.
She means no problem. Miss Hathaway, see that the penthouse is made ready for the doctor immediately.
But Chief, you got...
Never mind, Miss Jean. Granny knows exactly what she wants. You got a whole family to help her. Come on, Doc.
Oh, Mr. Drysdale, I left your cold cure on the truck. But you come up to my office later. You can be my first patient.
Chief, practicing medicine without a license is a criminal offense, and if you rent her an office, that
Relax. She can't practice medicine without patients. So, we'll tell the switchboard operator not to ring, and the elevator operator not to take anyone up.
But
by tonight, Granny will be ready to forget the whole thing and go home. In the meantime, we will have collected the first and last month's rent.
If she does treat a patient, somebody is going to jail.
Oh, stop worrying. Your job will be waiting for you when you get out.
Any patients waiting to see me?
No, ma'am, doctor.
Any appointments?
No, ma'am.
Any emergencies?
No, ma'am.
Has the hospital called?
No, ma'am. Nobody's called and nobody's come. We might as well be sitting home in the root cellar.
Ain't right. Folks are sitting around Clyburn's office suffering. Here I am with 50 years of doctoring behind me. What's that I smell?
I smell it, too.
Oh! I got some stuff in the sterilizer. I'll take care of it.
Office and fetch back some sick folks.
Okay, Granny. See you later.
I need you to drive me.
I'm sorry, Granny. I got emergency here.
What emergency?
I'm trying to keep from starving to death.
You can eat later. Come on.
But, Granny, I haven't eaten.
Now! And bring my doctor's bag.
Yes, ma'am. I'm coming.
You may go in now. Examination room C. Mr. Booth, I'm afraid the doctor isn't going to have time to see any salesmen today.
Oh, but I have to fly back to San Francisco tonight.
Oh, Miss Murray, would you get me the Henderson X-rays,
Yes,
please?
sir.
Thank you.
Oh, Dr. Clyburn, I'm from Hencal Pharmaceuticals.
Another time, please. I've had a hard day.
But I have this new combiotic.
Another time.
I've been trying to see you for several days.
I'm busy.
But just take a look at my tetracycline combiotic.
I haven't time. Show it to another doctor.
I've been to every doctor in the building. You're the last one.
Then come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow's too late. I'll be gone.
That's your problem.
You poor man. I heard what he said to you, but all doctors are not like him. What is it you wanted to show him?
I have an advanced tetracycline combiotic.
Lord love you. I got something that'll ease your pain. You'll have to come to my office.
I can't come to your office.
Catch him, lunchmouth. There's no time to lose.
What about my case?
I'm taking it.
Dr. Clyburn!
That little broomstick jockey is practicing medicine. I warned you, Drysdale.
I warned you, Miss Hathaway.
Somebody is in big trouble.
That's you, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, hi, Dr. Clyburn. You want to see Dr. Granny?
You bet I do.
Well, just take a seat. She's busy right now. You too, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane.
You tell her I want to see her, and I mean I want to see her now.
What's all the commotion out here? Oh, it's you. Come to apologize, did you?
I came to see that you go to jail. And all I need is for you to sign a complaint.
Oh, I have no complaint. I've just been made West Coast distributor for the first cold cure in medical history.
You bean brain, there is no cure for the common cold.
Granny's got one.
I don't believe it.
My hand on the book. It ain't failed in 45 years.
Well, Clyburn, wait until the papers get hold of this. Doctor tries to suppress cold cure.
Wait a publicity. She really has an effective cure?
One spoonful's all it takes.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Granny will give up this office, I'll forget about everything that's happened up until now.
It's a deal.
But first of all, I want to find out more about this cold cure.
Come down to my office, Roy.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Milburn.
I'll be right with you. Don't forget I have exclusive distribution.
Granny, I apologize. This morning I didn't believe you. Your cold cure really works.
Positively, if you follow directions.
By the way, what are the directions?
Take 1 spoonful of cold cure, eat sensible, get lots of rest, and drink plenty of water.
And in a week or 10 days, your cold will be gone.
A week or 10 days.
That's all it takes.
Ain't failed in 45 years.
Can we go back in your office? I think I'm going to be sick. Oh, I'm sorry you got all tangled up in the rope.
Well, I am rather helpless. If a man were to try and kiss me now, I couldn't resist.
You couldn't?
No, I'd be at his mercy.
Don't worry about that. Ain't no man going to kiss you while I'm here.
Jethro, you are like a magnificent skyscraper with an uncompleted penthouse.
Thank you.
Oh, that reminds me, Dr. Twomley is most anxious to see you again.
Well, I'm anxious to see him, too. He never did give me my certificate of health for school.
Well, Dr. Twomley is not an internist or diagnostician. He works in the field of psychiatry.
Well, as soon as he gets done working in that field and gets back to his office, I sure would like to see him.
Well, he's in his office now, but what I want to explain is...
I better hustle down there right now. Miss Potts says without I have a doctor's certificate, I can't graduate into the 6th grade.
Jethro?
Oh, good morning, Granny.
Morning, Miss Hathaway. Where's Jethro? I told him to string me a clothesline in here. I'm going to have to take a hickory switch to that boy again.
He's gone, Granny, but you don't need a clothesline.
I sure do. Can't hang him outside. It's going to rain today.
But, Granny, you have an automatic clothes dryer that... Rain today.
That's right.
Well, I just read the weather forecast in the morning paper, and it says fair.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fair rain.
Granny, the Government Weather Bureau says no rain today.
Is that a fact?
Granny? Oh, howdy there, Miss Hathaway.
Howdy.
Granny, your soap's hardening up real good.
I best go out and start cutting it into cakes. It's going to rain today.
Miss Clampett, perhaps you can ease Granny's mind about this rain.
Oh, that don't vex Granny none. She likes rain. Besides, it don't rain enough out here.
It's not going to rain today.
Who says it ain't?
Well, the U.S. Weather Bureau.
Who's he?
If I had to narrow it down to one he, I guess I would have to say chief meteorologist.
Well, yeah, them Indians is pretty good at reading rain signs, but I'll go along with Granny.
The United States Weather Bureau does not depend upon rain signs. It is a vast complex of highly skilled meteorologists working with the latest scientific equipment. They send balloons tens of thousands of feet into the air to measure wind velocity, barometric pressure, moisture content, and temperature. Their radar network scans the weather all over the continent. Their weather satellites are out in space circling the globe. Now, Now, what does Granny have to compare with this in making a weather forecast?
Twinges. And little stabbing pains in her bones.
I know what twinges are, but they can hardly be considered dependable weather prophets.
I reckon they're as good as balloons. Man, you got other ways of telling when rain's on the way. She studies ants and spiders and listens to the way the owl hoots and other things.
I'm afraid superstitions and omens cannot compete with knowledge and experience.
Well, I'm glad you're coming around to our way of thinking. Where's Jethro? Granny's going to want him to tote that soap in before it rains.
He's gone to Dr. Twombly's office.
Good. He's going to need that health certificate at school.
I've got to have it before I can graduate to 5th grade. You're in the 5th grade? Yes, sir. Fixing to scoot right on up into the 6th quick as you can give me my certificate of health.
Jethro, a simple physical examination is no problem. I want to explore your mental capacity, your cerebral region.
Should I take off my shirt?
No. That won't be necessary. Just make yourself comfortable on the couch over there.
What did you do to your thumb?
Oh, I have a patient who thinks he's a dog.
I hope this examination won't take too long. I got to get to school before it rains.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that, Jethro. It isn't going to rain.
Oh, yes, it is. Granny says so. And when Granny says something's going to happen, it happens.
Sounds like she has remarkable powers.
Strongest little woman you ever did see.
I meant clairvoyant powers. Would you say she's a medium?
No, sir. I'd say she's a small. She's strong as a medium, and if she ever took a switch to you, you'd know it.
Has she ever taken a switch to you?
Oh, she sure has. Woo.
And you stood for it?
Last time stood for pretty near 2 days.
Sounds like your grandmother is rather savage.
Sometimes she's as ornery as a mud wasp in a dry gourd.
Violent temper.
I'll say.
You're afraid of her.
Oh, yes, sir.
She's vicious?
Well, that's a fact.
Mean?
Darn tootin'.
Cruel?
Oh, yes, sir.
You hate her.
Granny? Why, she's the sweetest little woman that ever lived.
But you said she whips you.
Well, she sure does.
How often?
Just as often as I need it.
Jethro, you're quite a remarkable boy.
Oh, is the examination over?
No, just right. Now, you say you don't hate your grandmother. But how do you feel about your Uncle Jed? Is he a strict disciplinarian?
Uncle Jed says that's nobody's business.
What?
He says it don't matter what church you go to, just so long as you go.
My question wasn't about religion.
Well, if you ever get one, you just ask Uncle Jed, because he can quote the good book from cover to cover.
That's wonderful. So you like your Uncle Jed?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, back home, I used to brag that Uncle Jed could outshoot, outlift, outhunt, outfight, and outfigure any man in them there hills.
I see. Back home, you were proud of him,
Oh, yes, sir.
But now that you're in Beverly Hills, surrounded by well-educated, well-dressed, sophisticated, important, and successful men, you still brag about him?
No, sir, I don't.
Uh-huh. Why not?
Uncle Jed says it's sinful to shame these puny little city fellers.
Miss Hathaway, how well do you know that there Dr. Twombly?
Well, I'm not a patient of his, but he has a very big reputation.
I think I know how he got it.
What do you mean?
I wasn't in his office for 2 minutes, and he tried to lure me to his couch.
Well, he does that with everybody. He's a psychiatrist.
Yeah, he admitted that to me, and I told him he ought to try to get himself cured.
Psychiatry is what he practices.
Well, he ain't going to practice on Pearl.
Now then, Jethro, as I've already explained, sometimes we have hostilities and aggressions which are so deeply hidden from our conscious mind that they reveal themselves only in our dreams. Now, please, try again to recall for me a few of your dreams. Jethro. I want you to tell me about your dreams.
You keep asking me about my dreams, but you won't let me sleep long enough to have one.
Let's forget about the dreams and go back to your conscious relationship with your family. Now, we've established that you love your mother, adore your grandmother, and worship your Uncle Jed. How do you feel about your cousin Ellie Mae?
Dr. Twombly, there is times when I'd like to whoop the tar out of that girl.
And just when is that?
When she whoops the tar out of me.
What do you mean?
Well, she's all the time wrestling me down, getting a toe hold or an arm lock on me. I'm that smart.
You mean to tell me that that beautiful and fragile-looking girl can engage you in combat and emerge victorious?
No, sir. But she can whoop the tar out of me wrestling.
And that makes you angry?
You bet.
You want revenge?
Yes, sir.
She disgraces you?
Yes, sir.
Shames you?
Yes, sir.
And you hate her?
Ellie Mae? Well, shucks, no. I'd cut off my right arm for her.
Jethro, don't you hate anybody?
Well, I'm commencing to get a mite put out with you for not giving me my certificate of health.
All right, Jethro. You take this note to Dr. Wilson across the hall, and he'll give you your certificate for school.
Thank you. Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
Well, Jethro, hello.
You going in to see Dr. Twombly?
Briefly, yes.
Do you hate your mother?
No.
Well, don't tell the doctor. Seems to disappoint him something awful. Come in.
Hello, Gene.
Oh, Milburn.
Oh, biting nails again?
Your wife was scheduled for this hour.
Yes, I know. She just called me from the beauty parlor. She's running a little late there and felt she needed that more than this. And I have to agree.
Your wife's doing fine. She's greatly improved.
Oh, really? You know, it's hard to believe that once she was worse than she is now.
Oh, I'm greatly indebted to both of you for putting me in contact with that wonderful Clampett family.
Fascinating, aren't they?
Remarkable. Jethro is the most uncomplicated teenager I've ever met.
Yeah, the whole family's uncomplicated. Happy as hogs in a mud waller.
You are close to them.
I'm proud of them.
You're just the man to get me back in their good graces.
Oh? What happened?
Jethro's mother misunderstood my invitation to the couch. I'm persona non grata up there.
You just come with me. I can fix that.
Wonderful. I'm especially anxious to question Granny. That little woman is a walking encyclopedia of mountain medicine, superstition, and phenomena. She absolutely fascinates me.
Maybe I ought to ride into town with them and stop off at Dr. Twombly's office. See what's happened with Jethro.
Pearl, don't throw yourself at that goomer doctor.
Oh, he ain't no goomer doctor.
Well, he ain't a regular doctor. I asked him. I says, how do you cure warts? And he commences giving me a lot of talk about a electric needle. Right quick, I says, how are you going to thread it? With baling wire? He had no answer for that one.
Maybe he ain't just the best doctor that ever come along, but I kind of like him.
Well, I still say don't throw yourself at him, Pearl. If you want to see him, I'll conjure him over here.
How?
My love charm. I got them all lumped up. All it needs is a little starting powder and you to say the magic words.
Granny, I don't hold with conjures and love charms.
Pearl, with your boy in a Beverly Hills school, why do you want to stay so ignorant?
We don't use this kind of stuff in Beverly Hills.
That's why it's so powerful out here. They don't know how to fight it. Open the pouch a mite, and I'll sift in a little starting powder, and then you hold it to your heart, and you say the magic words.
Granny, I don't know how to do it.
I'll show you. Now you watch. Darling, darling, my true love, come a-swooping like a dove.
Oh, Granny! Granny! There's somebody here to see you.
Granny, I couldn't wait to see you again.
Wait, hogs and gnats. I counted them for myself. Get away from me, it's Pearl you want, not me. Toads and buzzards, that's so mean. Switch the spell to Pearl Bodine. Get away from me. You stay away from me. You stay away from me.
But, Mr. Clampett, you don't understand. I
Just calm down, Dr. Twombly. Over here and sit on the sofa while you get a grip on yourself.
Well, I'll be getting back to the bank, Gene. I see you're in good hands.
No, Milburn, wait. What's going on? Explain it to me.
He explained the behavior of these uncomplicated people to Beverly Hills' leading psychiatrist.
No, Milburn, wait.
Sorry. I want to pick up my wife at the beauty shop before the rain.
Rain? What rain? The forecast says clear.
You'll learn. So long, scientist.
Mr. Clampett, I am perfectly all right. All I want to do is see Granny.
I know that, but you gotta control the urge till she can break the spell.
What spell?
The one she throwed on you by accident.
I'd like to talk to her about it.
You would, but just simmer down a little first.
I told you that love charm would work twice as powerful on these Beverly Hills men. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I tried to switch it over to you, but it had too strong a hold on him. I'll have to break the spell now with my letting go powder, and then start all over for you.
Now, understand me, I don't blame you for the way you feel. Ain't no finer women growed in the whole world than in the hills back home. Now, you take my cousin Pearl.
Powder, white as snow, make the spell of love let go. The spell is broke, Jed. You can let him go now.
Oh, Granny, wait, what did you do to me? Come back. I want to talk to you. Granny, please.
Granny, looks like the spell ain't broken.
Never seen a man held so tight in the grip of love.
You gotta remember, this feller's a psychiatrist to start with. Now stay right where you are, Doctor. I'll bring Granny in to see you just like I promised, and Pearl, too.
Jed, how do I look?
Fetching as a fat hog on market day. Let's go see how Granny's doing. Granny. Doggy, you'd scare away vultures.
I do appreciate this, Granny.
Me too. Come on.
I'm glad to get shit of the rascal. Why, they must be 30, 40 years difference in our ages. At least. I'm not about to get mixed up in one of them May and December courtships.
Here they are.
Oh. Bonjour, Monsieur Doctor.
You didn't let... I never got... you didn't let...
Pearl, I never see a spell to beat this one. I got him settled down. I think I found his weak spot, Pearl.
What's that?
He's mighty fond of music. Come on in, yodel for him.
Jed, I just can't bust out yodeling for no reason.
Well, don't worry. I'll lead you into it real natural.
Well, I just hope it helps to get his mind off Granny. Me too, Pearl. I'm getting awful tired of that young feller chasing me. Why, there must be 20 years difference in our ages.
At least. Come on, Pearl.
By dingy's daisy, it was your love charm that got him started. But maybe it's your own charm that keeps him going.
Oh, say, Dr. Twombly, did I ever tell you about my cousin Pearl here being an extra fine cook and housekeeper?
Yes, you did.
Did I tell you about her dressmaking?
Yes?
Sock darning and shirt mending?
Yes.
Well, speaking of yodeling, at least, Pearl. Ever hear anything like that, Doctor?
Never.
You got any requests?
Yes, I'd like to see Granny.
Tuck away it's going to start to rain.
But, Granny, the paper says that...
Stoop when I tell you.
Did I hear Jeff?
Oh, here you are, Granny. Thank goodness. At last, maybe we can be alone together for a little while. I've got so much to talk to you about.
Before we begin, I want to remind you that I ain't no spring chicken.
I couldn't care less. I'm glad you're the age you are.
Well, you ain't exactly just hatched out of the egg yourself.
So much the better. Gives us more in common.
Well, as long as you got your eyes wide open, let's go into the parlor.
No, wait. I've got a better idea. We'll only be interrupted in there. My car's out front. We'll go for a drive. We can talk much better that way.
Is that your car out front with no top on it?
Yes, I always take the top off this time of the year.
Well, we can't go driving because it's going to start to rain.
No, it isn't.
No, I say it is.
But I heard the news on the way over. The weather forecast is for clear skies.
What time is it?
A little before 3.
It's going to start to shower any minute.
No, it isn't.
No, I say it is.
What makes you think so?
I've been reading the signs.
What signs?
The way the ants is banking the dirt up in front of their holes. And the owl is hooting close to the house during the day.
Fascinating. Come on. You can tell me all about it while we drive around.
I told you I ain't going driving in the rain.
But, Granny, it isn't going to rain.
You are the muleyest goomer of a doctor I ever did see.
Come on.
Come on, Granny, help us coming.
See, I knew this would happen if we stayed here.
Leave him be, Jed. We's old enough to know what we's doing. Besides, he's got to get his car under cover before the rain hits.
It isn't going to rain. Now, look, let me show you. Look! Did you ever see such a clear blue sky, such a... What's that black thing?
That's a rain cloud. Hi, doggy, Granny, you hit it right on the nose.
Oh, my God!
That poor fellow's gonna get soaked, but I reckon a cold shower won't hurt him none. Might even broke the love spell you throw it on him, Granny.
Oh, I don't care about that no more. Things wouldn't have worked out between him and me no way.
Well, what do you mean?
He's too old and set in his ways. Look at Paul. You going courting?
Of course not. I'm going down to Mr. Drysdale's bank for a business meeting. You seen Jethro?
Yes, sir. He's in the kitchen messing with his chemistry set.
Well, tell him to fetch the truck around.
Yes, sir, pal.
Him and his fool chemistry set. Look what he done to my hair.
How'd he do that?
Invented something called Bodine hair darkener. Turned me into a platinum blonde.
A nice shine to it.
Shine, it glows in the dark.
Jethro, Paul wants you...
Right in the middle of a great experiment. If this works... It works! I've done it!
Done what?
Invented purple orange juice. I'm gonna make a fortune.
How?
How? When somebody comes along and needs purple orange juice, they's gonna have to deal with me.
Granny's gonna turn purple when she sees this mess. Paul wants you to drive him down to the bank.
Hot dog. That'll give me a chance to show him my greatest discovery of all.
What's that?
Something scientists have been trying to find for years.
Where'd you get it?
I didn't get it. I invented it. This skill can turn water into gasoline. All us great scientists gets laughed at. That don't bother us none. Someday you'll be proud to say she was my lab assistant.
Oh, well, what does the lab assistant do?
Cleans up the mess.
How's it going, Miss Hathaway? Everything ready?
Right, Chief. Vintage champagne, chilled to perfection, imported caviar.
Oh, good. You know, Mrs. Sebastian is used to the best. What a man. Sponge king, shipping magnate. You got the expensive caviar, I hope.
$10 an ounce.
$10 an ounce? That's impossible.
Oh, see for yourself. 10 ounces, $100.
Well, you left one in there.
No, I didn't.
All right, but let's leave the can around so Sebastian can see it.
That will hardly impress a man like Mr. Lucas Sebastian. He is purported to be a billionaire.
Yeah. Think of that. Real live billionaire.
And quite a remarkable man. Adventurer, world traveler, oceanographer, authority in marine biology.
$1 billion. That's 1,000 million.
The concept that the farm of the future lies at the bottom of the ocean is absolutely brilliant.
Real live billionaire.
How exciting. Farming the ocean's depths.
Doing what?
Farming the depths of the ocean for food.
Well, whose nutty idea is that?
Mr. Sebastian!
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
You mean you didn't ask why he wants to organize a syndicate?
Look, when you get a chance to hook up with a man like Lucas Sebastian, you don't go asking foolish questions. Everything that man touches turns to gold.
You must be talking about Jed Clampetts.
That sounds like a perfect description.
Oh, no, Fleming. John, I was talking about the man who's going to head up our new syndicate. Lucas Sebastian.
What are we going to finance? Home movies?
Oh, of course not.
Mr. Sebastian wants you to see a film about this project.
Yes, he has a brilliant plan to farm the depths of the ocean.
Farm the depths of the ocean? How does that sound to you, Fleming?
Well, if Jed Clampett goes for it, you can count me in. He's yet to make a wrong move.
One of the shrewdest investors I've ever seen.
Yes, I make all his investments.
You know, a classic example is that broken-down movie studio he picked up for a song.
$5 million, wasn't it?
5.5.
Hear that? $5.5 million. And I'll bet anything he's worth 25 today.
The man's a genius.
It's my idea. I'm the genius.
By the way, Milburn, where is Clampett? He's coming, isn't he?
Well, of course he's coming. And when he gets here, he'll tell you himself that I'm the brains behind his every move.
So, put together a little of this and a little of that and come up with a Bodine gasoline pill.
You drop it in a tank of water and the car will run on it, huh?
Yes, sir. We's running on it right now.
Seem to be chugging along good as ever.
Makes no difference. I'll switch back to the gasoline tank so you can see for yourself.
Don't seem to be running as good on gas as it did on your water.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
Got the valve in backwards. We've been running on gas. Right now, he's running on water.
Right now, we ain't running.
I'll switch back to gas.
Good morning, Miss Hathaway.
Why, Mr. Sebastian, I have your film all ready to project.
Oh, thank you. This is a little token of my appreciation for your scholarly interest in my underseas farming project.
Oh, you shouldn't have, really. Oh, my goodness. Why, it's a sponge?
Yes, one of the finest ever brought up by my divers.
Well, why, it's absolutely magnificent, just beautiful.
I'm glad you like it.
Yes. Gentlemen, Mr. Lucas Sebastian.
Mr. Sebastian, welcome, welcome. I'm Milburn Drysdale. This is a great honor, a great pleasure.
How do you do, sir?
You know, meeting you is a privilege I've been looking forward to for many years, and I'd like to present Mr. Fleming Pendleton and Mr. John Canada.
Mr. Drysdale, my hand.
What about it?
I'd like it back.
Gentlemen, shake hands with Mr. Lucas Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian.
How do you do, sir? How do you do, Mr. Sebastian?
Sit down, sit down. Have some champagne, caviar.
No, I'm on a very strict diet.
What?
Yes, if you don't mind, I think I'll sit over there where I won't be tempted.
Diet? Take this caviar back to the store and get my $100.
But the can has been opened.
Solder it up.
Right now, Uncle Jed. Step down on that old starter.
Still full of bodine gasoline, huh?
Yes, but I'll get it running.
Well, I better commence walking. I'm late now.
Hey, no, Uncle Jed. I promised I'd get you to the bank on this truck, and I'm gonna do it.
How?
You steer, I'll push.
I'm sure Mr. Clampett will be here any moment. He's never late.
Well, he's late now. My time is limited. Now, if these gentlemen would care to see the film, I'd be happy to run it for them. If not, I'll be leaving.
No, run it.
Now, hold it, Milburn, hold it. I'd rather wait for Jed Clampett, wouldn't you, John?
Right. Oh, well, sorry, gentlemen. Perhaps we can get together on another project.
No. Here we go. Go time.
Take it easy, Jethro. Not so fast.
Yeah, gentlemen. Beneath the oceans that cover 70% of our globe lie the fields and farms of the future. In these very waters, where my divers once harvested sponges, we will harvest a crop of plankton and undersea vegetation worth billions. Well, gentlemen, the purpose of this syndicate is to develop and build the heavy equipment necessary for submarine harvesting on a commercially practical scale. I think we can do it on a piddling 100 million. What do you say?
They're in.
Right, gentlemen. Well, we'd like to caucus for a moment in the outer office.
Oh, well, please be brief. I'm due at my club in 10 minutes.
Won't be a moment. What do you think, Fleming?
Well, it worries me that Clampett didn't show up. If this undersea farming was worth anything, he'd be here.
That's a pretty new concept. Maybe he doesn't know about it.
You kidding? Nothing gets by that old fox.
Hey, Jane Hathaway here. Where's Mr. Clampett? What's that? Trying out a new discovery? A chemical that turns water into gasoline?
You hear that? Fantastic. Wonder he isn't here.
You say Jethro invented it?
I told you the kid was a genius. Got to get in on it. Yeah, gotta find Clampett.
Tell Milburn that we had to leave.
But what about the Ocean Farming Syndicate?
Maybe he can sell it to a seagull. Yeah? It's for the birds.
Hello, Ellie. When you hear from your father, would you please ask him to call? Thank you, dear. Bye.
Well, fellas, what?
They're gone, Chief.
But the syndicate?
I'm afraid they're not interested.
Oh, well, I'd say that about wraps things up, Drysdale. Apparently your bank doesn't have the clientele for something this big. Good day.
No, wait. Mr. Clampett's big enough.
Kindly remove that tourniquet from my arm. Thank you. Mr. Clampett didn't put in an appearance.
But he will.
Sorry, I'm late for a massage at my club.
He's on his way. I know he is.
Better commence to slow down, Jethro. I gotta make a turn at the next corner. Jethro, I say slow down. Jethro! Must have lost him on that last hill.
Mr. Sebastian, wait. Let's drive up to Mr.
I
Clampett.
told you I'm late for a massage.
But I'll massage you on the way. I'm really very good. I'll find him and bring him over to the club. You'll like him. He's a wonderful man.
Miss Hathaway?
Mr. Clampett, where have you been? Everyone's looking for you.
Well, I had a little inventor trouble. Is the syndicate meeting over?
Yes, but there's still time for you to get together with Mr. Sebastian, and it's very important that you do.
How come?
Well, he has a brilliant new plan for producing food.
Is he a farmer?
In a sense, but I'll let him explain it to you. Have Jethro rush you right over to the Oxford Club.
Well, Jethro's might tuckered out. He just pushed a truck 4 miles at a dead run. Whereabouts is this Oxford Club?
Well, actually, it's just up Wilshire a couple of blocks.
Oh, shucks, I'll walk over.
Well, you'll find Mr. Sebastian in the massage room. I do hope you'll see your way clear to help make his dream a reality.
Well, I'll do the best I can. I'm sorry about missing the meeting. Jethro done the best he could.
All's well that ends well.
Oh, Joe! Take it easy. Have a heart. Oh.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sebastian. You told me not to show you any mercy till the last of those 20 pounds were gone.
Yeah, but Joe, I've been doing my best. I've been starving myself for 3 days.
Don't give me that. I heard about those donuts this morning.
Oh? Who informed on me?
I just happened to date the waitress at the coffee shop.
I gave her a $10 tip. Oh.
And you promised me a $100 tip if we got rid of those pounds by tonight. And I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but Joe, just let me rest for a couple of minutes, eh?
Well, okay, just for a couple, though. And then I'm going to beat you, bake you, boil you, steam you, and fry you until those pounds come off.
All right, it's a deal. Just let me have 40 winks.
Yes, sir. Something I can do for you?
Well, howdy. My name is Jed Clampett. I'm looking for Mr. Sebastian. Is he here?
Yeah, but he's asleep right now.
Down here in the basement?
Right over there on the table.
Does he sleep here a lot?
Whenever I let him.
Well, maybe I better go and come back another time.
Was he expecting you?
Well, I kind of think he's hoping I'll drop by.
Well, maybe I better let him know you're here then.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
Oh, that's all right. I was going to wake him up to work him over anyway. Okay, nap time's up. There's a Mr. Clampett here to see you.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Clampett?
Howdy, Mr. Sebastian.
I'll shower and get dressed.
No, you don't. You're going to stay right here. You've paid for those donuts.
Now, here, hold on.
No. He's right, Mr. Clampett. I ate those donuts, and this is the only way I can pay the price.
Well, let me pay.
Oh.
Well, it's better get beat up.
You don't understand, Mr. Clampett. I just have to learn how to keep away from food.
Well, you starved.
I have been starving. 3 days.
By doggies, Mr. Sebastian, I got to admire your pride.
Pound away, Joe.
Hello? Ted? Where are you?
I'm in some place called the Oxford Club trying to help this poor farmer. I tell you, Granny, he's a pitiful case. He sleeps in the cellar on a hard table, no clothes on his back, and ain't got the price of 2 donuts.
You gonna grub stake him, Jed?
I'm sure going to try, but it ain't going to be easy. He's poor, but uncommon proud. He'd rather take a beating than let me pay for his donuts.
Out of here and into the rollers.
No, not the rollers. Not
the rollers.
No.
Granny, I got to get out of here before I tangle with the fellow that runs this place. He's the meanest, orneryest critter I ever seen. Poor Mr. Sebastian can't pay him the money he owes, and dogged if this rascal ain't determined to squeeze it out of his hide.
Fetch the poor fella home, Jed. Leastways, we can give him bed and board.
Okay, into the sweat box.
Oh, no, Joe, no. No, not the torture chamber, Joe. Let me ride the bicycle.
In the box.
No, Joe.
Granny, I'm afraid it's going to take a scrap to get Mr. Sebastian out of here. That fella Joe done took the wheel off his bicycle.
Sure do thank you for towing me home, Miss Jane.
That's all right, dear boy. Glad to do it. Jethro, I still think I should have towed you to a garage to have this engine reassembled.
Heck fire, Miss Jane. I can fix it. All I got to do is figure out where to connect these leftovers.
Well, bon chance. I want your Uncle Jed to have this. He and Mr. Sebastian may be going into business together.
thing I graduated 6th grade. I hate to tackle this without education.
You know, Joe, I just weighed myself and I'm down to, Joe. Joe, where are you?
Oh, let me out of here. Get me out of this thing.
Well, what happened to you, Joe?
Well, you remember when I let you out of the steam cabinet there and you kind of staggered into the shower room?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Clampett came over and gave me a $20 bill. Asked me if that would satisfy me. Well, I thought he wanted a massage. So I said, take off your clothes and I'll work you over.
And?
Well, that's the last thing I remember till I woke up in here.
You know, Joe, I'm beginning to wonder if I should accept Mr. Clampett's invitation to dinner.
What is it, Granny? According to Miss Jane, it's something that Mr. Sebastian grows on his farm. And a prize one, too. When's it gonna be done? I don't know, child. I've been stewing it for better than an hour. And it still ain't tender. Sure does smell good. Well, I put in a little piece of salt pork for seasoning. Let's just let it simmer there. You come and help me pick some dandelion greens to go with it.
Mushroom.
Well, come in. I'm glad you could make it. There we are.
Thank you.
I see you got some clothes.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Sebastian was telling me that's hand-loomed Irish tweed. Got it on Bond Street.
Now, don't you worry. It looks fine. Want to borrow my razor?
No.
I got a little surprise for you, Mrs. Sebastian. You hungry?
Oh, I've never been so hungry in my life.
There you are. 2 dozen of the finest donuts money can buy. Just a wallering in sugar.
For me?
For you and no strings attached.
No.
Proudest man I ever seen. Well, I reckon it would have took the edge off of Granny's victuals anyhow.
I'm sure she's got something wonderful cooking.
Just dump them right in the kettle. The kettle's empty. Empty?
Yes, ma'am. Started out just to have a taste, but you know me and mushrooms.
You ate the whole thing?
Yes, ma'am. Didn't have a lot of flavor, but it was mighty filling. I've never seen anything soak up so much gravy. You see, Duke? It's easy. I just throw this stick out yonder. You pick it up and fetch it back. Okay? Well, we'll do it again. Go on, boy. Get it. Fetch it, Duke. Fetch it. All right, I'll show you. Just once more now. You watch. Catch on, Duke? Catch on, boy? Do it once more. Fetch it, Duke. Get it. Come on. Get it. Shucks. You know something, Uncle Jed? That there is a real dumb dog.
Well, I don't think he's so dumb, Jethro. He just learned you how to fetch sticks for him.
But the dog is the one that's supposed to do the fetching. Why, there's a fella down the street that has a dog that fetches sticks for him all day.
Well, next time you want some sticks fetched, go down the street and let that dog fetch him. He just don't care nothing about it.
Top bottle tops out around. Jed, do you want some victuals today?
I do, Granny. I've worked up a right smart appetite fetching sticks for old Duke.
See, Jed, that's the trouble around here. The critters are taking over. Ellie Mae has done made pets out of everything but my pickled turnips. What's we gonna do for victuals?
Hey, I remember something Mr. Drysdale told us when we first moved in here.
What's that?
He said anytime Granny didn't feel like cooking, there was some folks that'd fetch food over to us.
Here in Beverly Hills?
Yes, ma'am. All you got to do is call them on the telephone and tell them what you want.
Well, doggies. That's mighty neighborly. You recall her name, Jethro?
Let's see. Cater.
We call her first name?
It's a woman. Beverly.
Beverly a caterer?
Must be a widow woman.
They's the best cook, Dad. They have more time.
Well, let's call up the widow and see what she's got cooking today.
Now, just a minute, Jed. I want it made clear that I'm going to do something for her in return.
Oh, naturally. We don't take charity.
Come on, Duke. Let's try it again.
Oh, howdy, Miss Operator. This here is Jed Clampett. Well, I wanted to call a widow caterer. Beverly's a Christian name. I don't rightly know what her late husband was called. Anyway, she's the one that cooks the food and takes it around to folks. Yes, ma'am, that's it. Beverly Caterer. Oh, caterers, is it? More than one. Looks like the widow's got some young'uns to help her.
That's good, Jed. Most times they leave home, just when you...
Well, thank you, ma'am. What was that you're saying, Granny?
I was saying that most times the young'uns leave home, just about the time that you're...
Well, howdy to you, Miss Beverly Caterer. This here is Jed Clampett. Sounds like a right friendly woman.
Howdy, Beverly, this here's Granny. I'm a widow myself. And I was just saying to Jed, it's nice when the young'uns stay home to help you. So many times they leave, just when you need 'em most.
I'll let you women folks talk about the victuals, but first I just want to say if you ever need a fence mended or a well dug or any heavy work at all, you just call on Jethro and me. Now, here's Granny.
Beverly, what you got on the back of the stove this morning? I don't want to put you to no extra trouble. Huh? Well, me, I'm partial to baked possum, but we'll take jowls or fatback or sow belly. Any kind of meat will pleasure us considerable. What's that? Bunch of nuts. Well, you can send them along. I'll tell you right now, the critters will get the bulk of them. Now tell me something we can do for you, honey. Do what? Hello? I declare, Jed, I never knowed anybody could turn nasty quicker than her.
Wonder what set her off?
Hard to tell, Jed. A generous woman like her probably gets took advantage of a lot. And tired to boot, I reckon.
Uncle Jed, I can't learn this dumb old dog to fetch his stick.
Well, Duke ain't about to waste his time chasing a piece of wood. He's a hunting dog.
Well, can I take him hunting then? I'd like to see him chase something.
Praise be. That's an idea that might put some fresh meat on our table.
All right, boy. It makes more sense than fetching a stick, especially the Duke.
You want to come along, Granny?
No, I better stay here and guard my kitchen.
Okay. Come on, Duke. Let's get the guns.
Guard your kitchen against who, Granny?
Against Ellie's critters, that's who. They's beginning to take over. Why, I can't hardly... That little rascal learned to open the icebox. Them's the last of my pickled pawpaws.
Oh, gee, thank goodness you're back. I didn't want to disturb you at the meeting, but your wife has been calling frantically.
No, that woman gets hysterical over nothing. What's it now?
Well, it seems there's a kangaroo in your backyard.
You see, the slightest little... What? What? A kangaroo? Where did it come from?
Australia. That's the only continent where...
Oh, I know that. How did it get in my backyard?
Well, your wife is rather incoherent, but Ravenswood said it's from the Second National Bank of Melbourne.
Second National Bank. Oh, that's where Gene Sandbloom was transferred to from... That explains his Christmas card.
May I share the humor of the situation, Chief?
Well, I sent him an alligator wallet, so he said he was going to send me a kangaroo pouch.
Kangaroo pouch? On the hop, as it were. Mr. Sandbloom does have a sense of humor.
Yes, we'll have the zoo pick it up. I'll call Margaret.
Mr. Drysdale's office? Oh, Ravenswood. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Good, I'll tell Mr. Drysdale. Oh, and don't worry about the kangaroo. The zoo will take care of it. Right. Cheerio! Ravenswood has your wife under sedation, and she's resting comfortably.
Oh, good.
There we are. A bit of mutton and Yorkshire pudding should hit the spot. You may be from down under, but we're all part of the empire. Oh, drat. The zoo must have already come for you.
Oh, I'm gonna cook up a rabbit stew. Soon as Jethro shoots me one or two, then we'll all sit down to the table and we'll eat, and we'll eat.
How you going, Granny?
Ted, did Jethro leave to go hunting yet?
Yep.
Well, he needn't have bothered. There's a jackrabbit out back that high. Now, you hold on, Jed Clampett. I tell you, I ain't touched a drop. And there is a giant jackrabbit out in our backyard, and it is this high.
Granny, you and me has seen some good-sized jacks in our day, but not 5 foot tall.
Kid, there's a lot of things we never seen back home that we are seeing out here. And that's one of them. A piano playing, icebox opener, paw Filford ape.
All right, Granny. I'll go take a look at your jackrabbit.
Come on, you can see for yourself. He can jump over this house, I tell you, in one hop.
Whereabouts is he?
I don't know. But sure as I live and breathe, he was sitting right there, 5 foot tall and looking me in the eye.
5 foot tall setting, was he?
Yes, he was. Where did that jackrabbit go?
Well, why don't you look out front? Maybe he hopped over the house, just like you said.
You think I'm talking nonsense, but you'll see, because I'll find him.
What's all shouting about, Granny?
Nothing. Don't tell her, Jed. I don't want her making a pet out of all that meat. Let me go in the kitchen and get out my biggest pot and start peeling taters. Lots of them. Here, Jack. Here, Jack. Here, Jack.
Who's Jack, Paul?
Never mind, Ellie. Just try to keep your critters from pestering Granny. You got her so upset she's got into her jug, and now she's seeing visions.
What kind of visions?
Well, I reckon it's all right to tell you. Granny thinks she's seen a 5 foot jackrabbit.
Howdy, Mr. Jackrabbit. The weather's turned off real nice, ain't it? There's some mighty fine clover out there on the lawn if you want to fatten up. I mean, if you're hungry. Don't you go away. There's somebody I want you to meet. I'll be right back. Jed, come a running. I found him. Come quick. Dad, I seen him again. The giant jackrabbit.
I bet you did.
He's right out front. Come on, I'll show him to you.
Maybe you better lay down a spell.
No, he'll get away again.
All right, I'll take a look.
You see him, Jed? I lost my glasses. But he must be out there somewhere.
Well, yeah, I see him.
Is he out on the lawn eating clover?
Great big old pink jackrabbit.
Pink!
Now, don't get upset. There's other colors, too. There's a blue one. There's a green one. Here comes one with purple polka dots.
Oh, I wish I could see him.
What's that you say, Mr. Jackrabbit? All right, I'll tell her. He says he thinks you ought to go in and lay down.
Yeah, I think I better had Jed.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
Jethro! And you've got a wonderful surprise. But why do you look so worried, noble beast?
Because I can't find no good hunting place, that's what. And Granny gave the strict orders to bring home some meat.
Oh, Jethro, food should never be a problem to people of your means. There are markets, supermarkets, caterers.
Uncle Jed called that there Beverly caterer. He got mean-mouthed something awful.
Mean-mouthed?
Yeah. He says she's the nastiest tempered woman that ever answered a telephone.
Well, Mr. Drysdale shall hear of this. The bank has a substantial interest in Beverly caterers. You wait here. Hello, Beverly caterers. One moment, please.
Hello. Have you spoken to a Mr. Jed Clampett today? What? Now, just a minute, young lady. What is your name? What do you mean, put and tame? Now, you put Mr. Tinsman on the phone and tell him it's Milburn Drysdale calling. Well, the nastiest tempered young woman I ever spoke to.
Jed, come quick. He's back again. He went outside there. Go look quick, Jed.
Who's that, Granny?
The giant jackrabbit.
Oh, him again. All right, where's the jug?
What jug?
The jug that rabbit keeps coming out of. The jug gave you that headache.
I ain't touched the jug. I busted my head running into them curtains.
Yeah, sure. They'll do it all right.
I gotta catch that giant jackrabbit. Where's my shotgun?
Well, Jethro's got it out hunting.
Well, then we gotta catch a snare and put a snare out for him.
Granny, wouldn't you rather lay back down and let me bring you a nice big cup of black coffee?
Now, I'm gonna catch that big giant jackrabbit whether you help me or not, and I don't care.
I'll help you.
All right. Now, you get me a nice big stout rope and put some bait in the snare.
Yeah, it'd take about 24 carrots for a rabbit that size.
Now you're thinking straight.
Yeah. Just took me a while.
Jethro.
The restitution is about to be made.
Yes. Now, I'll give your Uncle Jed a message from
Tell
me.
him that the young woman who was so rude on the telephone will arrive in person to offer her abject apologies.
Yes. And tell Granny she needn't worry about food.
The young lady will also bring with her a truck full of delicious piping hot viands and an assortment of tasty beverages, all of which will be offered at your pleasure.
Yes. Have I anything else to say, Miss Hathaway?
No, Chief, I think you've said it all.
That sure is going to make Uncle Jed and Granny happy. Thank you, Mr. Drysdale.
Not at all. Glad to do it.
Now, let's see. If I was to tie another rope onto the bottom of that limb, pull it down, and then take my loop and put some carrots in it. Howdy, Mr. Jackrabbit. Would you like to step into my kitchen? You ain't gonna get away from me again, I can tell you that. Now, are you gonna come peaceable, or do I have to take you by force?
Quieten down, Granny. What's the matter now?
The giant jackrabbit. I had him cornered, but he fist-fought me.
Fist fought you.
Yes, he did. Now you go outside and belt him upside the jaw.
Granny, where are you hiding them jugs?
Oh, I'm gonna cook up a rabbit stew, and one giant rabbit will more than do.
Hey, Granny, you don't have to do no cooking. Like I said, that there Beverly caterer is going to bring over a whole truckload of viands and beverages.
I ain't depending on nobody with a temper as bad as hers. Besides, I don't need her viands. For the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be eating high on the rabbit.
Well, where'd you get all the rabbits?
One rabbit, Jethro.
One rabbit? He must be a whopper.
Remember those big mountain jacks we used to see back home?
Yeah?
I seen me a jackrabbit that could put a pair of them in his pocket.
In his pocket?
Sure. He stands 5 feet tall and he has a pocket, right? You don't believe me, do you?
Oh, yes, I do, Granny.
No, you don't.
Oh, Granny, I sure I do.
No, you don't.
All right, I don't believe you.
How dare you call me a liar?
Mr.
Tinsman, do I have to face Mr. Clampett all by myself?
Yes, you do. You're the one who insulted him on the phone. And you're the one he'll expect an apology from.
But he talked like a nut.
Miss Billington, a man as rich as Mr. Clampett may talk like an eccentric, but never like a nut.
I sure hope he'll forgive me.
He'll forgive you. If he's anywhere between 15 and 95, he'll forgive you. I'll take the food round to the kitchen.
Is Mr. Clampett at home?
I'm Jed Clampett. Come right in. This little fella don't say much, but he's right smart.
Mr. Clampett, I'm here to apologize about the way I spoke to you on the telephone earlier today.
Oh, you're, Beverly Caterers.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're a deal younger than I figured. He prettier, too.
Thank you. I'm awfully sorry about losing my temper when you called.
Oh, now, I understand. Woman works hard all day cooking, doing for others. Young'un's hanging on her apron, and she gets a mite waspish. And you not having a husband to help.
Yes, that's right. I don't have a husband.
How many young'uns you got?
Young'uns?
Helping you with the cooking and fetching over to your place.
Oh, help. Well, let's see. 7.
7? Well, you must be from our part of the country. Got started young, didn't you? Well, come on. Granny be wanting to meet you. She's out in the kitchen.
I got you, you big overgrown rascal. Now you're coming into the house to show you to Jim. And then you're going into the stew. That's where you're going.
Oh, that's Mr. Tinsman at the back door. He's my boss.
Come in, come in. I'm Jed Clampett.
A real pleasure, Mr. Clampett. I'm Bill Tinsman. I hope everything has been straightened out, and that Beverly Caterers will always be welcome in your home.
Why, you bet you're lying. This is a mighty fine young woman. She says you're her boss.
That is right. I own Beverly Caterers.
Tickets, you say? Can you do that out here?
Why, of course. Mr. Drysdale holds a small mortgage, but as soon as that's paid off, she's all mine.
That don't take the ham off the hog.
Now, Jed, you can see I ain't been at no junk.
Now, these folks is Beverly Caterers and Bill Tinsman. These are the ones that does all the cooking.
I hope we can cook for you, Granny.
You can commence with this one. I caught him, now you can cook him. Why, you little varmint, you untied my giant jackrabbit.
Giant jackrabbit?
Yes, my giant jackrabbit. That's what I wanted you to cook for me. He stands about 5 foot tall, has brown eyes, and a pocket right here. Now, don't you go away. I'll go get him for you.
We'll be back directly. You all go in the parlor and let the little fella play piano for you.
You say eccentric? I still say nuts.
I say you're right. Let's get out of here.
I can't understand it. He was free. Why should he return?
Something must have frightened him.
I'll say, if he prefers his crate to freedom. Yes, but what could it have been?
Hello, over there.
Yes, Granny, what is it?
You see anything of a jackrabbit?
No, we haven't.
You won't find any jackrabbits in Beverly Hills, Granny.
I'll telephone the zoo, sir.
I say there's a giant jackrabbit around here someplace, and I'm going to find him if it's the last thing I ever do.
Sure you are, Granny. Now, come in, lay down. I'm going to get that nice Beverly Caterers to make a poultice for your head.
Granny, you caught some in your snire.
See, Jed wanted to tell you.
What'd she catch, Ellie?
Jethro!
Hey, Uncle Jed, cut me down! Uncle Jed, they cut me down!
Well, by dingy's young fella, that was a dandy ride.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for picking me up. These shoes were just killing my feet. Ain't broke in good yet.
Well, I could see you was limping when you flagged me down.
Putting you wave my arm out before you stop.
Well, I'm used to spotting people who need a lift. I do that all day.
Oh, what a fine thing. You must be a nice man. Come on in and meet my family.
No thanks, lady. I gotta get going.
Oh, don't be in a hurry. Ain't near as late as you think. That clock of yours is way fast. Uh-oh. You stopped altogether now.
Are you talking about that?
Yeah. See, it says 6:30 and it's barely noon. You better get that thing fixed. It's probably a busted mainspring.
Lady, that means $6.30.
Oh, then forget it. You can get a new clock for that. Thanks again. Goodbye.
Hey, but lady, what about the fare?
Are you asking me?
I sure am.
Well, now, ain't that nice? Wait till I tell Jed. Jed, I'm going to the fair.
Who with, Granny?
Nicest man I met since I come to Beverly Hills. He works for something they call a cab company. But mostly he just drives around and takes tired folks home. He just brung me clean from town.
Well, now, you see, Granny, there's nice folks every place. Just have to take trouble to find them.
You better go out and keep 'em company, Jed. We're going to do a lot of walking at the fair. I got to get out of these high-style shoes.
All right, Granny. Oh, howdy there. Come in, come in. Reckon you're the young fellow that brought Granny home. My name's Jed Clampett.
Oh, hi.
I don't believe I caught your name.
It's, Burton.
Burton, huh? What's your first name?
Richard.
Mr. Burton. Dick Burton?
That's right, and my wife's name is Elizabeth.
Well, doggy, Liz and Dick Burton. You know there's another Liz and Dick Burton? Yeah, run a feed store back home.
Feed store?
Been running it for 40 years. Back home, whenever anybody thinks of hogwash, they just naturally think of Liz and Dick. Sit down.
No thanks. Say, what happened to the lady that just came in?
Oh, she'll be down in a minute. She told me about the fair.
Good, that's 6:30.
Well, you got loads of time. Sit down.
Well, glad you come in. I wanted you to meet my son-in-law. Ain't he a nice feller, Jed?
He sure is.
Gives you a whole new feeling about Beverly Hills. Well, change my shoes. We're ready for the fair.
Me too, that'll be 6:30.
Oh, you two got lots of time to kill.
Yeah, we can go for another ride.
Not until I get my $6.30.
$6.30.
Well, the time I've been waiting, it should be $7.
What for?
For picking her up in town and bringing her all the way up here.
You mean you're going to charge money to a poor old widow for picking her up and fetching her home?
Of course, that's how I make my living.
Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
What?
For making folks think you're so kind and neighborly and then charging them money for it.
Lady, that's my business.
Well, I'm going to make it mine.
Now, simmer down, Granny. Mr. Burton, I reckon what you're doing is within the law, but it's a mighty sorry way for a grown man to behave.
Oh, this has got to be a rib. The costumes, the mansion, the whole bit.
I didn't know I was living in a mansion. I was born in a little log cabin, but poor as we was, I'd have never took a penny the way you're taking it.
Never mind the Gettysburg Address. Just give me my money.
I ain't got no money in these clothes. You'll have to wait a minute.
You ain't waiting for no money. You have slickered your last widow. Death row! Ellie Mae, somebody! Fetch my shotgun!
Hey, look, lady, I'll wait in the cab.
You ain't waiting no place! You get off of our property.
Not till I get my 6:30.
All you're gonna get is 2 12s.
I'm going right to the police.
That's good. Turn yourself in. And when you get out, try and lead a decent life.
Who is he, Granny?
A feller that takes money from innocent women. Why, it's a good thing he showed his colors before he got me out to the fairgrounds and filled me up with cotton candy and soda pop.
Where'd you meet him?
He picked me up in town. Oh, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. He was so nice, is he nice?
How come he left without his money?
He found out he couldn't get his silver without a little lead.
Now, Granny, you know good and well you wouldn't really shoot nobody with this.
What are you talking about? You know I've smoked the britches of many a chicken thief and revenue with that gun.
Only when it was loaded with rock salt and bacon rind.
Well, it scared him good. Besides, it gave the chicken something to peck at the next morning. Jethro, you're just the rascal I'm looking for.
Well, what'd I do now?
Nothing. You're gonna learn me to drive.
Well, what for?
Hot. It ain't safe for a lady to walk the streets of Beverly Hills.
All right, Uncle Jed?
I don't see no harm in it. When you get through with Granny, I might just take a go at it myself.
Come on. What do I do first, boy?
Well, the first thing you do is turn that there what you call ignition key.
What does it unlock?
The electricity or something. Then the next thing you do is stomp down on the starter. That's that there little button on the floor. And then you leave off the brake. Like this.
Doggy, she learned quick, didn't she?
She ain't learned yet. She had that thing in gear. Hey, Granny, step on the brake!
Jethro, instead of standing there yelling, maybe you better cut across and catch her before she gets out the gate.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
What did you stop me for? I was just getting going good.
Yes, sir, Ellie Mae, you're gonna make some man mighty. I wish you'd look at that. I ain't seen one of them in years.
Well, tear into it, Paul.
You bet I will. See, this is an extra big one, Ellie. How about you having some?
Oh, no, sir. This is all for you, Paul.
Good. See, you got some hot mustard I could smear on that?
Oh, it's got hot mustard in it, Paul.
Oh, good. Well, how about some sorghum to pour over it?
It's got sorghum in it, too.
Well, say, Ellie Mae, how about you brewing up a pot of coffee?
I got some boiling.
Boiling?
Yes, sir. I'll fetch it over. Eat it while it's hot, Paul. When it gets cool, it gets kind of tough.
You've been boiling that coffee for some time, ain't you?
Yes, sir, Paul. I want to make sure it was good and done.
But I tell you what, Ellie, now that you cooked me such a fine lunch, why don't you go out and see how Granny's doing with the driving?
Well, I got to feed Skipper and JoJo first. Come on, fellas. Time for lunch.
Tell you what, Ellie, let me feed them. You go out and tell Granny about cooking victuals. She'll be right proud of you.
Yes, sir, Paul.
Here you are, Skipper. Let me see you tie into that.
Are you learning to drive, Granny?
Been driving for a half hour. Nothing to it.
Well, let's see you do some.
Plain or fancy?
Oh, just plain, I reckon.
All right.
Oh, your wheel ain't touching, Granny. Just a minute.
Hey, Granny, put on the brake! Oh, that's the gas!
I can't wait to see her fancy driving.
Wowie! Who's driving that truck?
Hey, you the rascal that was smooth-talking Granny and tried to get her to the fair so's you could fill her full of cotton candy and soda pop.
Oh, boy, this has got to be the Beverly Hills Funny Farm.
Hey, where are you going?
Look, I'm sure you're all harmless, but I gotta find the doctor in charge of this place and tell him that somebody left the gate open and 2 beauties got out.
You smooth-talking me.
Oh, boy. Look, honey, take me to your keeper.
Quick, fellas. Take the tug-of-war outside. We don't want to discourage Ellie.
Paul, that rascal that Granny chased. Oh, I see you ate all your omelette.
Omelette?
You want to fix you another one?
Oh, no. I mean, why don't you try cooking something different this time?
Well, to tell the truth, I'd just as lief. These here golfers sure is hard to cook.
Golf eggs? These eggs you use in the omelette?
Yes, sir. You'll never crack it that way, Paul. I had to melt these rascals down, shell and all.
I think you best throw these out. I don't think they're strictly fresh leaves.
Yes, sir. Oh, like I started to tell you, that there Burton fella, he's out front. Says he wants to talk to the foreman of this here Skull Ranch.
Skull Ranch?
That's just what he said. He was talking so funny that I just wouldn't let him come in the house.
Good girl, Ellie.
All right. You can take Jethro bird watching this one time. But from now on, concentrate on Ellie Mae.
Very well, Chief. You're the doctor.
Oh, hey, Doc, you're just the fellow I'm looking for. A couple of your guests just checked out of your Ha-Ha hotel.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the doc will know what I'm talking about. Hey, look, Doc, you know that little one called Granny?
Yes, what about
Well,
her?
someone left the gate open and she went tearing out of here about a mile a minute, driving an old truck.
Granny driving?
She doesn't know how to drive. You're telling me she almost creamed the side of my cab.
Hathaway, get on the phone to the police. Explain the situation. Ask them not to arrest Granny, just to stop her and bring her back here.
Right, Chief.
By the way, what are you doing here?
I tried to collect some cab fare from Granny, but...
Granny called a cab?
No, I was cruising in town, and she was walking along the curb and waving and yelling at cars, so I picked her up. I thought she was a little peculiar, but I didn't think she was from this place. And when I asked for my fare, well, she chased me out with a shotgun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's none of my business, but should they have guns?
No, they shouldn't, but I try to humor them. How much was the fare?
$6.30.
Here, 10. Keep the change.
Oh, thank you very much.
Excuse me, Chief. I have alerted the police. They have issued an all-points bulletin. Granny will be intercepted and escorted home.
Good. Well, if Granny's going to drive in here, I'd better move my car.
Hey, me too.
Went past another red light.
Don't worry about passing them red lights. He's catching up with us.
Granny! This ain't the driveway!
Who needs it? I'm taking a shortcut.
Well, we'll be back shortly.
Here they come, Chief. Mr. Clampett.
Bye.
Beverly Hills Police certainly are efficient.
Best in the
The
country.
brake! Granny! Step on the brake!
Jethro, you ought to learn your granny to park out front like you do.
Uncle Jed,
I have done given my last driving lesson.
Granny, are you all right?
Am I all right? I beat that policeman
Lady,
here.
I've seen a lot of drivers in my day, but you topped them all. Now, would you sign this citation for me, please?
That's just fine. If you want to wait a little while, I'll go in and see if I can find a picture and I'll autograph it for you.
No, thanks. I'd just like to see your license, please.
Hunting, fishing, or wedding.
Officer, I'm Milburn Drysdale. If you'll step inside, we'll telephone headquarters and straighten the whole thing out.
Hey, buddy, come here. Huh? I can see you're a little confused. Don't you know what this place is?
It's like a private home.
It's a private home, all right, with rubber rooms.
What?
Yeah, it's sort of a very exclusive Freud factory. Yeah, you know, kind of a happy farm.
The little woman I picked up, she's,
Bubbles in the think tank. I brought her back once today. She keeps busting out.
Who's that big kid with her?
Well, I figure he's got a little space to rent, too. You know that tall geezer, the one with a scraggly beard? Thinks he's Abe Lincoln.
Well, who's the fella Drysdale?
Oh, he's the doc, the head shrinker.
Thanks, I'm glad you told me. Well, wait a minute, what are you doing here?
Oh, no. That's my cab out there. I'm waiting for somebody to bust out so I can bring him back. The doc pays real good for that.
Joe, give me that. It's mine. Now you turn loose. You ain't supposed to have this.
Well, there's another one.
Yeah, she's trying to get away from the dog. Looks like a piece of rubber.
Probably wallpaper from a room.
Joe, you come back here. Joe, bring that back.
Well, there's another $15. See you later.
Glad that rascal's gone. Granny didn't cotton to him.
Is that because he picked her up and brought her back here?
Yeah, but she can drive now. Make it easier for her to get away.
Why would she want to get away?
Well, it ain't much fun being cooped up in here all day. I can tell you that myself.
Let's put it this way, if you're going to be cooped up, this is a beautiful spot for it.
Yeah, it's nice, all right. You know, I was born and raised in a little log cabin.
Really?
Yeah. Moving into here was like moving into the White House.
Tell me, this little old log cabin you were born in, was it around here somewhere?
Oh, it was way back in the hills, right smack in the middle of the woods.
I'll bet you did a lot of rail split when you were a boy.
It's a fact. Man and boy, I split many a rail.
Did you read by the light of the fire?
When I could find something to read. I used to have to walk 10, 12 miles to borrow a book.
And I'll bet you were always honest and returned it.
You betcha.
Officer, can I see you for a moment? Be right with you, Doc. Excuse me, Mr. President.
Yeah, reckon he heard about my corporation.
I spoke to the captain. I gave him my assurance that Granny would do no more driving. He said to tell you that everything is squared away, okay? Oh. Well, all right, whatever you say. Get the doc's here. Where do you think you're going?
Bird watching. You promised I could take Jethro.
Well, all right, go ahead.
Perhaps we should see a red-breasted nuthat, sort of yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Well, it's none of my business, but shouldn't somebody go along to keep an eye on those two?
You want the job?
No. Thank you. But there is something. You know, I've never been in a place like this. Could I go upstairs and look around?
Sure, if you'd like to. Go ahead.
On a second thought, I'm due back at headquarters. So long, Doctor. And you too, fella. Excuse me, Mr. President, but I gotta get out of here.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm taking the shortcut.
Like Granny opened up a new road.
Oh, here you are, Mr. Clampett. Now remember, I've promised the Beverly Hills Police that Granny will do no more driving.
I'll do my best, Mr. Drysdale, but that's a mighty muley little woman, and she has took quite a shine to driving.
Well, we've got to see to it that
She must have snuck around the house.
We've got to stop her.
Relax, Mr. Drysdale. It ain't Granny driving. Spunky little fella. You couldn't get me out in that traffic for money.